Nerdrotic.com.
Oh, God.
That was cool.
Shut up, Mad.
This is better than the freaking loud-ass countdown, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
I
wait
can't
for
hear
it.
Gary, audio.
Now, what happened there? Why was there no countdown?
Because you didn't hit the intro.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's kind of fucking pointless.
It's not pointless. It's not pointless.
I think you got it now.
We're giving people time to come in. Oh, shit, I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, you did miss it.
This is very on brand, by the way.
Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan.
You're doing so well.
Gary, I apologize.
Don't apologize.
I put up with this almost every week.
He's lucky to be here.
I was gonna say, I thought it froze up. I was like,
I think Gary knew what he was walking into.
you.
The only reason I'm here is because I finished the video already.
I don't think it is as loud, but it's still.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, he brought it down.
It's quieter. I like it. No pressure.
Touch
No
me.
pressure, Scott. No pressure.
All right, Mr. Tickle Trunk. What else is going on here?
Yeah, why is this something
It's going
in the
on
background?
forever.
I hear stuff in the back.
Somebody has the thing playing.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the
somebody's
hell?
got it. A Sporking
Steven.
News podcast production.
Yeah, well, it is a production, kinda.
Nordodic? Is he a Nordic person?
Why is there double going on? Is it
somebody
because
has a speaker on?
culture? Is it because we're? Oh, you know what it is?
Stereo
It's
surround
Steven.
sound, baby.
It was Steven. It was Steven. I just muted him.
It's the dump, Steve.
Yeah, Steven, why don't you put on some headphones, you idiot?
Yeah, it's the dump.
It literally tells you to wear headphones when you come into stream.
It does. It does. That's like the first thing you learn.
You get your best face on.
Oh, look at this. We haven't seen this before.
What is this here?
Nerdrotic.com.
Ooh. I like that. That looks so cool.
Yeah, I didn't make it. I definitely did not make
forgot
that.
to turn the audio on again.
I
Yeah,
like the
Boomer.
beat. I feel like I expect the hip hop beats start popping in.
All right, and welcome to Saturday night, everybody. This is The Dump. We are live. We have a special guest. Machini 90 is in the house, everyone. Okay, and then we all...
Yay!
I thought that would be funnier.
I think I realized that.
You're
It's
special
always
to
you,
me.
though.
Oh my god.
We also have we have some other people here. We have Nerdrotic, a little channel we all like. Hello, Gary. Say hello to the audience.
Hello, audience.
There
Oh,
you
8-bit
go.
Gary.
Woo.
All right. So he's here, official.
Officially here.
Officially. How you doing tonight, Gary?
Good. How about you?
I'm good, man. I've been running all day. It was my 4-year-old's birthday, and we did 1,000 things today. And
Happy birthday.
yeah, it was great.
You squirted out a new one too, right? So
Yeah. 3 weeks, and he was screaming the whole time. Wow. He was either sleeping or screaming. It was awesome. It was a good day. Yeah, I had a.
Fucking breeders.
You're sleeping or pooping. And
Oh,
then
what's
crying.
I forgot what sleep is.
Oh my God, man! I forgot.
Well,
How
actually,
hard?
being a parent just trained me for YouTube, and I never got any sleep as a parent, and now I just
Yeah.
don't get no sleep from work. So.
I found it so like I forgot how little sleep you get and how little they are and how much you got to feed them and change them and
they
it's
shit
tough.
everywhere.
They
It's
do.
another job.
And when you have 2 other kids here still, you know, like they're loud because like before, like, you know, the youngest daughter was born, the oldest wasn't that old yet. Now they're like ransacking the house when we're not paying attention. It's pretty rough. But anyways.
Now, is there a time limit on the firehouse? Like, you know, you can drop them off, like, if you don't want the kid? Like, it's like a return policy?
I think you got 9 months.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Something
Feed
to
them
jot
after
down.
midnight,
Something
Scott?
to just jot down.
You know what, man? I fed him after midnight last night. I'm screwed, aren't I?
Very
Tom.
much so.
Yep.
Tom from Midnight's Edge, how are you?
I'm just proud to be here, I think.
Wow.
That's what you pay me to say.
Can you say that one more time in big screen?
Scott pays me to say I'm
Yes.
proud to be here.
Thank you. We're
When
turning
is
that.
the check going to clear?
We're turning that into a commercial. Thank you for being here, Tom. We have some other great YouTubers. Hi, according to Christie. We have Jayne Theory in the house.
Hello.
She's a pumpkin head.
I am. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Jayne. How's everything?
It's going great. It's going
Good,
great.
good. And we had Stephen Walton up in the house.
I'm here to be on my best behavior and watch Scott crash and burn.
Wow. You're just so scared of
I
me
learned
getting more
something about
subs than
Steven
you.
today. Steven has a sandwich making woman, and he don't appreciate her.
I do too.
Wait a minute. Who makes the sandwiches?
She does. She did. She made the sandwiches.
This time.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. What do you guys call? Okay, do you guys have subs, grinders, or hoagies? Anybody have grinders?
Hoagies and grinders.
I love grinders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else call them grinders in the other parts of the country?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Do you know, Steven, that started it in Groton, Connecticut? Grinder. That's where that, it comes from the old ship grinders. Little history here, folks. Yeah, we suck.
Are you making this up?
We're not here to learn
No, not at all. Not at all. They call them grinders because the grinders would take their break, their 1 hour break. They would run over there and ask for their sandwich, and it just became
Is this
a
like the time
grinder.
you had a girlfriend, but she lived in Canada and I couldn't meet her?
It was the Niagara Falls area. Her name was Bethany. She was hot. Whatever. I broke up with her. We also have Makini Draws. What's up, man? What are you drawing tonight for us?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. And you know what? We did a stream where I just did whatever came to mind, and I had a fairy on the mind, I guess. So there you go.
That's
Look
awesome.
at that.
Wow.
I'm staring
Beautiful.
at your boobs right now.
You always bring it, Mock. That is gorgeous, man.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
And we have the no host. His name, what's your name?
Me. It's Mad from Mad Barber Entertainment. I'm your co-host here on the dump.
Thank you. And Culture Casinos in the house.
Hey everybody, thanks for being here. Totally appreciate you joining us. We have just an amazing set of circumstances this evening with the great Nerdrotic joining us, of course. But I'm really excited that the panel this evening is here, and we're going to be on fire. It's going to be a good time. So here we go.
Matt, are you a little
really?
salty?
Really?
Are you a little salty that we have a guest?
I'm a little salty that he just made a joke about fire people.
Oh, here we go again. I blew up in Iraq. Oh, me.
I was on fire for a while one time.
Yeah, woo, we took a hit, you know?
I got
You
a head injury.
survived.
Yes, I did.
He did
Yes.
survive, so.
You know what? When Veterans Day shows up, then I'll show you a little props, okay? You have your one day of the year. To all other
should have a
veterans out there,
veteran
though, we
month.
love you guys. Not him, though. Not him.
Oh, yeah.
So,
we should have a veteran month, by the way.
you should. Actually, you
Everybody
should.
else gets a month.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Time for it because there's Pride Month. Sorry, we couldn't fit you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys had your chance.
They would never give us a
maybe
month like
July
that
is already
because-
Veterans Month or September.
I was going to say, they would just think it's a bunch of white men who'd get celebrated, so they'd be like, nope.
Yeah, that's true. Now let me ask. Pride Month is June, right?
Yes, it is.
So now, how does that roll with June 19th? What is it?
Juneteenth.
Yeah,
It's
Juneteenth.
an official holiday now.
Now, what is that holiday actually? Does anybody know? I'm sorry, I don't.
I think Jane. I completely forgot what it was. Jane.
When the people in Texas were finally informed that they were free.
Exactly.
Oh, it was Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
They were informed that they were free, but it wasn't that they were already free.
They were already free.
They just
yeah.
didn't know.
Well,
They just they didn't get the memo.
It was a technicality. They didn't get the memo.
I mean, the Pony Express takes a while.
Somebody didn't tell them, hey guys, you're free now. You know.
Oh, that's messed up, man.
You know, the
terrible.
owners didn't really want to
Sorry.
let that information out.
Yeah, well, they were hoping for a couple more weeks, free, but that's messed up.
They thought
That's
things might change, you know?
It was that Groundhog Day moment. 2 more
Yeah.
weeks to winter.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Can you imagine how awkward it is? You're like, oh, hey, Billy, there's something I was supposed to tell you.
What's that? What's that, sir?
You've been freed. Anyway, so if you can go back to
Fuck your mother, and then you're just out. You're just out. That's what it is. Can you just imagine? Oh, I don't even want to get into that. YouTube
let's
doesn't like
not.
us already.
Let's
Culture. Why don't you read? Do we have any super chats or members?
Absolutely. So from our good friend Mr. Tickle Trunk for $5, Canadian $5, says, "Nice one, Scott. Late stream.
Of
Are
course.
you trying to suck up to Gary or something?"
Well, you got to wait for certain people to show up.
Also, Scott, before you get to Orville Nation's $10 super chat, you do have a few more super chats from Butter Biscuit 92 saying, "Let's go, Brandon." And then you have
Let's go, Brandon.
Small Time Nerd Cookies, Tina Bojan. Let's see who else. And then you have George Maho and Mexican Iron Man all subscribed, became channel members at the Hot Pie, Littlefinger,
Nice.
Oh, that happened today?
Yes,
Nice.
it's all year. Yeah.
I mean, as you know, I'm the expert on pronouncing George's last name correctly. So
What is it?
Molo.
Like
Molo.
Molo.
Yeah.
Molo.
He is an expert.
Got to
Molo.
stream with George the other night. That was a lot of fun with Quarter Black and Comics Division and this guy with me. That was a good time.
Oh, that's George. Yeah, I've streamed with George a couple times. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So we got a couple more super chats, but thank you to all the channel members. Thank you to the super chats. That's awesome. I appreciate it. We're growing every day, people. Growing every day. You're not the only one, Gary. All right. Next.
Wow, it's
Jeez.
finally
Sorry.
Are you okay, Scott? Are you
Sorry,
okay?
I gotta.
And then we need to talk about Scott.
Yeah, I got to read
Yeah,
my daily scriptures.
The
and
size
stuff.
of your beard emasculates.
Sounds like a gratitude list.
I know. I got to do 4, 5, and 6. I know. Let's do this.
Well, we got, like I said, the one that our good friend Makini mentioned. Orville Nation for $10 says, FYI, Scotty, our friend and fellow YouTuber, Weather Katie, is at the Broadcast Emmys right now, waiting to see if she wins too.
No
she has
way!
2 nominations.
Dang, that is amazing.
Okay.
Congratulations,
She's
Katie.
in our fantasy football league.
She's a sweetheart, man. She is so nice.
Yeah, and
I don't know how good
she's
she is at fantasy
she's in
football.
second place, I think,
Wow.
in our league right now.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
Let me
That's awesome.
verify that.
Okay, all right, you should, because she, just because she's whooping your butt anyway.
She
all
does
right.
not beat me.
Again, we have Mexican Iron Man. For
Hey!
additional
Mexican Iron Man, hail, sir.
The man is weighed down by money, apparently. He says, oh my God, it's 7 of my absolute favorite YouTubers, plus Mr. Mad,
Oh.
the best thing host
Thank you,
ever.
Mexican Iron
Not an
Man.
intern.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Not an intern.
Listening in from the tax bunker at the office. Hail,
Nice.
everyone.
Thank you,
Hail,
sir.
Hail,
Mexican
brother.
Iron
Thank
Man.
you, Mike.
For the record, I'm in second. She's in third. Just for the record,
Who?
wanted to clear that
Who?
up. Weather
Nobody
Katie.
cares, man.
She's in third. I'm in
No.
second.
Okay. All right.
You realize Gary's been here for at least 12 minutes and nobody's let him talk.
No,
Yeah,
He's
that's.
already- he's ready to leave.
I'm sorry.
It's the dump. Sorry, Gary.
I'm a guest. You guys
Yeah.
I'm on your show. It's cool. I'll talk. Trust me.
Yeah, when we get to the stories, you'll
Gary,
definitely.
let's talk to Gary. I heard that you owned a video or a rental, or not a rental store. That's me.
Well,
Comic book shop.
I own a porno shop.
Oh,
Porno shop?
Wow.
that's
Was it
art
a-
now.
Was it a gay porn
Vibrations?
shop?
Yeah.
Have you moved yet?
No, about a couple months away, but the missus is going to look at houses, I think, after we do our little show that we're doing. next
Nice.
week.
Oh,
Nice,
amazing.
man. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Well,
What else do we got, buddy?
We got Snowdub Music and Entertainment for $5 saying
Okay.
hashtag Rogue Cotton. Fire. Much love, Gary. Heart, hail to the panel, and chat. Cotton
Hail.
Connection 100 America. That's right.
Snow
baby.
Dub, always representing. Thank you, buddy.
That's right. Yeah, we also have our great friend, fellow Rogue,
Elaine.
Nerd Cookies. Elaine for $2 says, tell Gary I loved FNT yesterday. Also, play my clip.
Oh,
She's
here
got
we
a
go.
No.
1 second, everybody.
No.
Here we go. This one's for you, Nerd Cookies.
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Thank you, Jerry Jones.
I think we all do.
Deserves more respect.
All do.
She's like the sweetest person, and that's the one clip she loves, and that's my
loves.
favorite thing about her because it's like, yeah, everyone's like, what? That was Nerd Cookies who liked that? Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, Nerd Cookies, as always. Anything else?
We are booking through the chat right now. We got a lot of folks hanging out, like Nina
Yeah.
Infinity's out there.
Nina.
And George is getting bombed with hails all over the place, so that's good
George.
news. Love
George
all
is
the love
killing
he's
it.
getting out there.
We
Yeah.
got 83 people in the chat right
Welcome,
now.
everybody.
That is that's awesome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, why don't you do it now so I can beat Walton? And by the way, before we start our first article, we do have a commercial real quick.
Oh.
So we're gonna go with commercial 1. No,
Okay.
is it 2? No,
No,
well,
commercial one's perfect. I think
Okay.
so. I think, yeah.
Here we go. So this is a commercial why you should subscribe here. So here you go. Who is better, me or Stephen Walton?
You're really here?
I'm here.
You're
I'm
a real
here.
person?
Who should hit 2K first, myself or Stephen Walton?
Guy that wrote that dumb book that nobody bought.
Oh! What do you mean? Eat, pray, trees? 2K first. Me or Stephen Walton?
All my friends are chicks.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for, buddy.
That's the misconception. You thought they were your
Me
friends.
or Stephen Walton to 2K first? Who the fuck is Stephen Walton? All right, me or Stephen Walton to 2K first?
Who's that motherfucker?
Not many people know. Yeah. Okay, so we're here trying to figure out, should I hit 2K first or Stephen Walton? Do you know who that is, Stephen Walton? Exactly. He doesn't matter, people. Subscribe to Sporking News Podcast.
There you go.
I love how you cut out the 18 times you called his book.
Oh, dude, I like 20 times. I couldn't think of any other books, but Eat, Pray, Tree and a wrinkle in a tree or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Scott immediately called me and said, the ones I love the best were the people who really didn't know who you were.
Oh, X-Ray Girl is the best one. X-Ray Girl is the best one because she has no effing clue, probably who I am and who you are.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
She's awesome. Mr. Tickle Trunk for a Canadian $5 says, Scott, I love how you don't care how you come across to people. That superpower will come in handy tonight.
Yeah. You know, most of my issues growing up was because I cared too much. I learned to let go and let God, people. So that's what it is.
Yeah, Mr. Grant Gregory for an Australian $2. Oh, heck of a creator, guys. He's back on his channel and he's making stuff for other people, and it's beautiful. He says, Gary, Pseudoconic, Edco, the Weave Master, and Mad Guy.
No, that's not God, dude. It's not Edco. That is Edwin.
What?
That's how Edwin spells his name. You guys haven't met Edwin. You haven't met him. He might show up tonight. He's my blue-haired intern. You might meet him. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
You never met Edwin. Okay, all right.
Apparently.
Shows how much you guys watch my channel.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Great.
Scott, I'm here every time you're live. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess you weren't there for that one then. Okay.
Hey, look, it's drunk.
That's one of my best friends.
Hey.
Look at that.
Oh, it's the guy who doesn't know I exist anymore and doesn't return my phone calls.
Oh no.
He's a little busy today. He is in New York with the Dark Council. Beautiful. I saw all those pictures. You guys rock. But let's get. If we don't have any more super chats, let's get into the first article.
No, you're all clear, Scott.
From good. Let's do it.
All right, Walton.
You got it, brother. Okay, dear white people, co-showrunner Jacqueline. What is that? Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Jacqueline.
She's hot.
She's boycotting Netflix over transphobic Dave Chappelle special. It's an exclusive. All right, well, let's get into this piece. Jack LaMoura has always considered Dave Chappelle one of her comedic heroes. His shadow is huge, says Moore, who was a writer and co-showrunner in Netflix's Dear White People. He's a brilliant, goofy comedian. He's brilliant as a political comedian, and he has been brilliant for so long. But I also don't
goofy.
What?
I wouldn't describe him as goofy.
No.
I wouldn't say that either.
Goofy.
No.
Oh, he's very well thought. He's very well thought. He's an intelligent.
Describe Dave Chappelle as goofy.
Yeah, if you were going to describe Dave Chappelle with one word,
Larry
it'd be
the
goofy.
Cable Guy is goofy.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
that is not
Larry's
fit.
goofy, not
Gallagher.
Dave.
Gallagher is fucking goofy. Yes.
Yes, that's goofy.
Carrot Top is fucking goofy.
Are we talking about
that's what
skinny
they
Carrot
do.
Top?
It's interesting how they always sort of frame their argument before they make it.
Mhm.
And try to diminish the person and put them in a particular context, and then drop the major insult after that.
Right.
So who else here has actually seen the special besides me?
I have.
I've seen it.
Okay, so we've all seen it, right? So they basically are doing
Spoilers.
Yeah, they're basically doing exactly what he predicted was going to happen.
Yeah.
Some have. I've heard some arguments from. Well, not really an argument saying that it was Lauren Chin was saying that the third special was more just Dave Chappelle, like it was still funny, but it was really Dave Chappelle coming out and saying what he always wanted to say. To just kind of let it go because he's done. He's going to be done with Netflix and such after this special.
Yeah.
Well, he made it clear in there that he was specifically addressing these these allegations and terrible things that have been said about him being transphobic. He wanted to specifically address it, and it seems like it was driven in part by the death of his friend.
Yeah, that was a powerful.
Clear the air and say, look, it's never been about being against trans people or gay people. This is the real issue. And I think he made a very good argument. He layered it. It was a complex argument. It was couched in comedy, but it was very heartfelt. You could tell. And he was being as honest and transparent as he could be. And he was clearly not trying to insult them. It was what they're doing to him, especially now. Like, they've tried to cancel him in the past
multiple times.
But what they're trying to do now on something that he took so personally and just laid himself bare, it's
well, you could also tell the people that want to hear what they want to hear, or didn't even watch it at all, because if you listen to his stand-up, you can tell what he's saying. He's not attacking the transgender community.
One of the actual criticisms that was legit was that a lot of this stuff is stuff that he's covered before, right?
Yeah,
and I agree with that, right? Like, I totally get that, and so I even got into I wouldn't call it an argument, more of a disagreement with people last night when I said that Sticks and Stones is still the funnier of the two. But this one is more focused. But I still say Killing Them Softly is still his best ever.
Absolutely,
it's the most pure Chappelle.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
100%.
this is his raw. This is his
raw and uncut.
Well, let me
the
ask.
way I looked at it was that. So for me, this technically this wasn't like his best stand up at all. Like Killing, like we just talked about, but it was more of a conversation rather than him doing his whole performance. It was because having a conversation with a guy who throws in a few jokes here and there, you know what I mean, to keep it going. It felt more personal and more one-on-one than it did as him actually coming out and doing his craft. I think that there's a big difference between his stand-up and what he did on this last special.
Yeah. Gary, did you see it?
I saw about half of it.
Okay.
And it came off as spoken word to me, and I loved it. I love that part of it because I think what Chappelle does is, I mean, he says things we have been saying for years, but they get more legitimized if Dave Chappelle says it. Plus, he's pretty good at getting to the point of the argument. Like I could go blather on for days, but listen, nobody has ever been against trans people. Nobody.
Right.
And if it's the number of people who actually are is insignificant. This is it's a war on language. It's about power, and it's about keeping some kind of status. What Jayne was just saying, this person here is framing an argument, attacking a person over being attacked.
Right.
You're doing the same thing.
Right. It's hypocritical.
And it's just like, we have to point this out. Like so many people have been accepting of this, and we need to call this BS out every single time it happens.
Right.
If we don't, it just starts becoming okay. So now we're fighting an uphill battle because Gina got canceled. What Gina got canceled over was beep bop boop.
Right. Ridiculous.
It wasn't that Instagram post or whatever it was afterwards. That was just the final straw, but it was beep bop boop or whatever it was. That's what got her.
And it's ironic that, like, the thing that was the last straw became more true than ever.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, she became right.
No, but I think Gary's right. It was more so when it wasn't the other stuff she was saying. More so, I think you're right. Gary. It was the beep bop boop because they pushed the whole like she's transphobe. Because like, look at even what they did to what's her face who played Ahsoka.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson. I mean, she's clearly one of them, right? Like, even more so than probably anybody else on the cast because, she's Rosario Dawson. She loves everybody. Well, then this nonsense that comes out about her being transphobic because of a tangential argument that she wasn't even a part of.
Right. Getting in between to stop her mom and the woman.
Yeah.
Right.
A lawsuit that ended up not going through and her winning. And even, the person following lawsuit calling it completely off.
Yes, but the facts don't matter. The mob matters what they think. So she's guilty in the court of their opinion.
Kangaroo court.
And you know what the worst part is too is that Dave said it in the special. Like, the worst part, because cancel culture, you are trying to stop a man from feeding his family. Like, you are stopping them from making a livelihood and taking care of their own. Well, it's not just like, like saying this person stinks, kick him off I
think it even goes farther than that, Scott, because I think that was the whole point of the special, and I wish you had seen the whole thing, Gary.
Yeah.
Because once he gets to that end, that ending is like a big crescendo into this, fuck you for canceling my friend.
Oh, right.
Right.
This is what cancel culture is. This is the ultimate ending. This is what they want. And he even says it throughout the special. These fuckers don't let up. Right?
And they've never watched his they're the ones that never watch the actual show. They only take bits and pieces they hear about. That's the worst part too. They don't even watch the whole thing to get the context of what his joke is, because his joke's about everyone, Gary.
They don't care about the context. This is about power, and we're fighting a group of individuals who are either, whether you're a trans trender or it's legit. I don't know. I'm not in anybody's head, but you're in a headspace where you're not feeling that secure. So insecure people you should know this, Scott. We see this all the time in the program.
Yep.
When you're not feeling good about yourself, you lash out.
Yes.
And once you stop doing that, it's when I'm okay with myself. I'll use my I statements. When I'm okay with myself, I'm not going to start lashing out. So, we got a small group of people in this country driving the language on social media right now, through entertainment, through mainstream media, and it's being used. They're making more enemies than they are friends. This is like way beyond. They were probably on the precipice of being completely accepted, right? And I understand there's a bunch of people who went through a lot of shit, for decades, and there's a lot of that built up, and some people want some payback, but that's not how you progress, and that's not how you make friends.
Well, you know what, Gary, that's funny you say that, because he did have one part. I don't know if you made it to this part, and it's one of my favorite parts of the whole special, is when he's like, I can't stand this age's gays and trans. Like, I want the Stonewall gays back, the ones that are ready to fight. These ones, you say one thing and they want to cancel you. Like, they truly don't know adversity. They don't know anything. Like, coming out of the closet when I was in high school, I remember a kid in an all-boys school, he came out of the closet. That was ballsy in 1991. Nowadays, like, people are like, whatever, it's no big deal. Like, those are the people that built it. But now it's like they feel like they have to be offended because, in times past, things have happened. But it didn't happen to them.
Watching the transition, what my mother went through. What my mother's went through from when I was young until now, until they got married, until they had that moment where they were actually allowed to have a union. And that was a great time. And like you were saying, Scott, it's because there's some areas there's no fight left, and I guess they feel left out. They need some attention. I have no idea, but it feels like a lot of false arguments are being presented.
I think that some of it has to do with people needing something to rebel against. And since there's really not, if you think about it, remember the guy that was all mad about Starbucks and taking Christmas off of the Starbucks cup? Yeah. And he all freaks out, right? That dude, as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, how good is your life that this is it? This is the hill that you're wanting to die on, is this cup. And it's the same thing for anyone that's looking for this type of attention. A lot of it has to do with they didn't have their moment of rebellion, and now they're wanting to rebel, and there's nobody really in opposition to them, so now they're having to make it up. So now they're having to take the smallest thing and making it into something that is worthy of being fought. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
Now, the sickest part of the whole circumstance are the people that are out there willing to push these false arguments to reinforce their insecurities just to create division or make a buck.
Right. And then there's other people, Steven, that just go along with it because they want to stay, in the place of power they have or not lose their job. It's just like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. F you, YouTube. It's just like mandating these jabs. I work for a company that I make really good money with, and I don't have my experience is very specific, and got to get it now, because if I don't, I lose what livelihood I have for my family. And, and I'm not going to lie and say it's religious or something like this. I know I can, but I'm just disgusted that they're forcing me to do this because I don't believe I should be forced, but it's one of those type of things.
I think
follow the herd.
In part, I think part of what's driving this is a lack of, or not even a lack of, but a rejection of nuance in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people aren't prepared to have debates anymore or have disagreements that they then talk through and find some sort of solution. It's all about talking points, being pithy, getting back at people with these little quick Twitter posts and things like that. They don't really care about coming together. It's all about how divisive can I be, and it's intentional,
right? Because
that draws attention to them, and negative attention or positive, they don't care anymore. They just want likes or tweets or whatever attention they can get from social media. That's what's driving a lot of the articles and the captions and the direction that they tend to take in the media in general.
I think you're right, especially for certain groups when it comes to the revenge factor, Jayne.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at this from the broad scope. Like, most of us probably have a family member or a friend that is either gay, trans, what have you, right? And most of them, if you talk to them about this stuff, they think it's insane. Because most people, all they ever wanted was just to be accepted and treated like a human being.
Equally.
Right? They didn't want to be seen as the gay person or the lesbian lady or what have you. And that's the thing is, like, I remember talking to a friend of mine who's lesbian and she's older. And she said this one night she got pissed off because we were discussing this. And I've told this story before, so I apologize to those who've heard it. But she said, I'm so sick of these kids nowadays. We fought for years just to be not a label, right? That we were sick and tired of just being a label. Now all of a sudden it's like if they could tattoo their fucking label right on their head, they would. And it's like, I don't get it. And she's like, and then the part of the revenge part is they want us to not just be acceptable of them or acceptance. It's the conformity, right? And that's what we're seeing across the board. It's like you're transphobic if you won't date a trans woman, right?
Gary.
Fear,
all that kind of shit. Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
No, it's all good. They want to see people in fear. This is about power, but this is with certain individuals. All right. So it's a very complex situation made so much worse with social media. I mean, I think a lot of things were progressing pretty normally. And listen, it's a tough thing to ask for a society to accept too many things at once. Is it fair? No, but life isn't fair, and you need to internalize that. We all have our problems. We all have our problems with acceptance in society. Some much worse than others. But going out there and actively making enemies, controlling language, that's gonna just end badly for everybody.
It is.
And it's we've made for years.
Yeah, but Gary, we've made so much progress for such a long time, and you and I saw it. We watched the evolution of the society and the cultural norms around us, so that they shifted, so that it was more commonplace than it was the exception to the situation, and it just became part of what we grew up with. We were taught a whole lot of things that worked really well, and now we are moving back 50 years in different ways because people are just tired of hearing about things that they're like, we've already established. I mean, we have enough laws that support everybody, not just one particular class.
Well, the thing is that even after all that work culture, there's still more left to be done, and
maybe, but not
taken away.
But not these specific things is the problem, Stephen. And I'm sure you can probably agree with that. And it's incredibly frustrating, again, for someone like me who, it didn't matter a lick about any of your immutables, because by the time I was an adult human being, I had, the full life experience with every type of person. So it's never, and I now that I'm 50, that's 30 years of, having a pretty cool life with everybody of every shade and flavor, and it's frustrating. And this is the problem. You have to see each other as human beings, and this is one of the things that Chappelle was talking about last night, or a few nights ago in his special.
But you have to also understand too that there is another agenda at play.
Oh, sure.
With this specific, and that's why he called out this particular group and how criticism of them is treated differently than criticism of anyone else. Because what you're seeing in society with this pattern that we see in Hollywood of women being masculinized and men being feminized, and this thing of blurring genders, it's a change in society that they're trying to achieve. It's not so much that we're going backwards. It's like they're trying to shift us into a completely different direction that no one could ever have perceived happening before now. And it's a place where I don't think your average woman or your average man would feel comfortable, let alone raising their children in that environment. But there are people in positions of power and influence who are trying to create that world. And if you go against it in any way by, for example, recognizing women and men as biological concepts, they're going to go over and beyond to destroy your career, even at the expense of their own.
And it's always been about trying to find that hate trigger. I mean, you go take it back to the bathroom debate. You know, nobody was talking about that. And then it just came out of the ether. It was almost like it was a subject to test people's patience and see how far they could be pressed. And I feel like they're doing that over and over again. And I also feel there's a degree of taking advantage of the mentally ill, people with undiagnosed conditions, that are seeking some kind of validation or help or just trying to understand themselves. And they're being taken advantage of.
Well, you've raised an entire generation of narcissists with social media and other things like that. The only validation they get is from the handheld device that they carry around with them everywhere that they go, and that is unhealthy.
And that's where I think, Jayne, you're right up to a point, except for we have taken a huge leap backwards, and in a sense that they are taking us in a different direction, but at the same time, you have this entire generation who is completely oblivious to the real history that we're supposed to live. Like, look at how they react to politics now. Remember when, and Gary knows what I'm talking about, especially, I know, like back in the day, it used to be fuck the man, fuck, the government. And nowadays these kids are out there, they're like fucking simping for the goddamn government. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Well, I think you run into the situation where government has effectively divided people into teams. And it's become a team sport. And so they're fighting for what they consider their team, their side, their people, as opposed to seeing that the government is not acting in the interest of any of us when you really get down to it. When you look at how they vote consistently together on things that actually matter to them, and then divide us on things that they really don't particularly care about and never seem to resolve. Because it keeps us at one another's throats.
So we're not even a paragraph in, so we're gonna read some. That was awesome, though. We're gonna read some super chats real quick. All right, we're gonna read a little bit more. We have 104 people in the chat. Let me tell you this: I need 25 more to get to 1,600, getting closer to passing Walton to 2,000 people. That is my goal. I don't care how far I go after that. I really don't. I don't. So we have was that before Brightest Day?
Do you guys have a
I think that was, I'm not sure. I think, go ahead though.
Well, we got Brightest Day for $5. He says, congrats, Scott. Got to meet Brightest Day. We actually work together, never knew it. I met him up in Boston though. Awesome dude. Thank you very much. Also to Justin Normie, who's been on the channel before, $5. Donating $5 so you can buy more diapers because you couldn't wrap it.
Wow.
Wow. He's right though. Love you, brother.
Yeah, we got this one from Mr. Tickle Trunk, Canadian, $5. Am I supposed to compliment you more now or later? None of these notes you gave me have timestamps on them.
Just as often as you like, Mr. Tickle Trunk. We talked about this.
I would default to the now position.
Anytime you can compliment Scott, he's willing to accept it. That's he's magnanimous that way. To be honest.
Thank you. I do. I need, my ego's pretty big. It's pretty big, and I don't feel like I get enough love out there, people.
Well, you're compensating for things.
A lot of
compensating for other things. But you know what? Mr. Tickle Trunk comes right back with another and says, negative male aggression is based in physical violence. Female aggression is based in reputation destruction. Twitter is a perfect storm.
Well, let me just say this. I mean, male physical violence, I would say for the alpha straight heterosexual male and maybe some gay males, that's it. But this last generation, it is social media. Like they all go to reputation destruction. I've seen like my niece and my nephews deal with this stuff. I couldn't imagine. I don't know, Gary and we're all older. Could you imagine, Gary, like when you were in high school, being everything you did videotaped, like every mistake you made being blasted out there on social media?
No, yeah. Not at all. What a nightmare.
Oh, our parents would have lost their fucking minds.
Yeah. Let's not even bring up how like kids don't even know how to go into the woods to find porn.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that's where I found mine. Right, my first one. Yeah, it's
well,
like a porn
stealing
catalog.
my script.
A good example right now, what's going on is the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly Oakland Raiders, that he is getting under fire for a tweet it was for an email that he made about one of the people within NFL.
Oh, I missed this. What happened?
You can say it was discriminatory. You can say it was this, that, and a third. But the thing is, it was a decade ago.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. It was the head of the NFLPA.
It doesn't matter anymore.
The problem as a derogative term.
One of the big problems is with like social media and the big things is that people are losing the ability that people can change.
Yeah.
People have grown up over the years. People have changed. They're not the same person that they were years ago, but the problem is that was sorry.
No. I was just asking, like, what was even the context? That's the thing. We don't know the context of shit 10 minutes ago, and they're trying to bring up something from 10 years ago with no context whatsoever. Is what I'm asking.
And it's weird, Tom, because
it's rhetorical.
You're right, because at the same time they're trying to dismiss all of history and the massive amounts of growth we have, but they're willing to dredge up crap from the past to burn you down with.
Exactly, and
I think the example is Walter Mosley. I mean, he was reiterating a story that happened to him, and they got him having a talking to because he used the N-word in the writer's room. He's like, bitch, I am the N-word in the writer's room.
Oh, right. That was
so that was one of those things. It's just...
you can't mature. You can't mature anymore.
And I think that's one of the big problems. I'm not just saying like Twitter, but just social media in general is that, we as a society, we as beings, we definitely have regressed. We have become these children. I'm not saying like all of us, like exactly. It's just we in general have regressed into that, and that's where I think I'm with Tom. Was that I think in some ways you're stepping backwards when it's not. We're stepping backwards in progress, and it's done intentionally.
And when you're inundated with this constantly, and you're put in this paralyzed position of hate, like you're constantly on the hyper defensive. You don't have the ability, like Jayne said earlier, to have nuanced conversations and to bridge those kinds of gaps. To understand if someone's grown in their philosophy or their thought or what the position is.
And I think what is lacking is that we always hear about the whole silent majority not being against this, being against this and such. But I think I do think that it is kind of a worry because sometimes it takes of somebody like a Nicki Minaj, like a Dave Chappelle, somebody who's that high caliber, someone
and breaks their narrative.
And breaks the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's what they're afraid of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's just that whole thing was weird too. Because you have we know about the Tuskegee experiments and stuff. We know one of the things they were coming out saying was so funny on MSNBC and CNN at the start of this was how difficult it would be to convince Black Americans to trust getting the jab and all of that because of this history of experimentation in science going out literally throughout the 1900s and the 1800s. And trying to convince this population in particular to trust science, to trust the doctors, to trust this very new treatment was something that would be incredibly difficult. But when Black celebrities started coming out and saying, look, I'm not comfortable with this.
Right.
I don't want to do this yet. I have questions and concerns. They get dragged just like everybody else.
Right.
Because it's not really about, they don't really care about your concerns. They just want to force you to do what they say.
Conform.
Right.
Conform. Yeah.
That's all this. It's capitulation, conformity, extortion. Corporations, they were woke anyway. Okay. But, last year during the riots, they were scared to death. And certain entities took advantage of that. And we have seen it pushed to an extreme limit now. And now we're seeing corporations are cowards. All it takes, the one thing people respect about Chappelle is he doesn't give a crap. He just has the FU money and he doesn't care. And that's why he's respected. And you wonder why more celebrities don't recognize that. That's where you want to be loved by a lot of people. You want to get really fucking popular. Don't give a crap. It's real easy, but they're so scared.
And the thing is, Gary, is that you think about that. You think about guys like Dave Chappelle who don't give a crap, who became big and then became somebody who was very, very much, wanting to speak his mind, wanting to speak his stuff like that, and not caring about the system. I won't say he's he's a big rebel against the system. It's just he does come off of that. But when you look at the opposite end of the spectrum, you look at somebody like Howard Stern, who has always been about being against the man, being against all the corporation stuff, but then getting so big, getting all that money to becoming one of them, becoming one of the men, becoming the machine.
So it doesn't stop until we have a 10,000 Dave Chappelles.
Right.
Not one. 10,000 and it's easy for YouTubers like me can not give a crap except when it comes to the TOS for YouTube. But the biggest problem is we are the majority. We're the vast majority, but we have no control. And the only control we have, the only power we have, we're not using.
Right.
We're just
not
voting smart.
Right.
And we're not putting away our wallets yet. It's been very tough. We love what we love, and this isn't it's just reality. And
it's just reality. Yeah.
Eric July was also talking about the people that contact him and say thank you for saying this. I feel this way, and his reply to them is, "You need to speak up. We all need to speak up."
Yeah, it's time to fight. It's our turn now. We're gonna have to give stuff up. I've given stuff up. I've given a lot of stuff up, and I'm gonna have to give up more.
Right. Well, it got, Gary, tell me this real quick. It got to a point where for the beginning of this, though, we were the reason we stayed quiet was because we thought, okay, this is a one-off or it'll get back to normal soon. And it's just never going to be. They're going to attack everything we love. They have. Right, Gary?
Yeah. I mean, it's already happened. So, a lot of people were recognizing this 2 decades ago and a decade ago. I would say I was starting to recognize it about 7 years ago, but I never thought it would get like this. I always thought the same, the ship will right itself. We're going to have to help the ship right itself now.
Yeah.
I remember back in 2012, I was talking to my dad and some conservative comedian or whatever just got canceled for saying a joke. And my dad was like, this isn't good. This is really bad. And I remember our response was like, yeah, it is, but I get it. People are just wanting everyone to be accepted into the community as a whole. And sure, they have gone too far, but eventually things will calm down and we'll get back towards the middle. I wasn't completely wrong.
Well, because it always has been like that.
Yeah.
It always goes too far right or too far left, and the other side wins, and it keeps going back and forth. But we've gotten to a point now where it's been slowly this one group of people that truly want to change our society completely have been indoctrinating our children and college students and high school students, and it's movies. They've been slipping into lower level jobs and growing in those, and now all of a sudden they've all just jumped, and we're like, holy crap, where did this all come from? Let's read some super chats real quick, and then we might read a little bit more of this article. I don't know.
I don't know that we need to.
I know. I don't think we do. We can go on to the next one. We have 120 people in the chat.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to the channel. Help us. Yeah, get us past 1,600 tonight.
And hey, subscribe to other people on the panel too.
Well,
no, Scott.
Gary's fine.
1,600. No, let's go to 2,000.
Well, that's my goal. 2,000, but 1,600 would be nice tonight. Tina Bojan for $5. On a related note, one of my university students confessed this week that she didn't buy the required textbook because it was too big for her to read.
Wow. Oh my God.
I mean, commend her for her honesty.
But
like words in it.
But look, this is the problem. We have been dumbing down education across the board, trying to get to the lowest common denominator. This is not new. We've been watching this slide for 2 decades.
Yeah, you're right. George! Wow! 2.
Wrong one.
There we go.
I hit the wrong button. I did it, Gary.
Well, wow, for $200. Thank you, sir. I think that's my biggest super chat so far, so thank you, sir. When SJWs are riding the digital planes, romancing blue check marks, and leftist cultists are preaching the equality of universal misery and victimhood is a cash and carry commodity for the mainstream media. You have to sack up, stop fear, and live your best life now. All hail the amazing panel. Thank you, George, very much.
And hey, Chad, let's keep these super chats at 200 so I don't get blocked by them. So
I think there's.
I'll
take there's a really good question. I think we should ask the panel
right
now.
What's that?
Are we living our best lives now?
I think.
Of course not.
I think these group. Well, I wouldn't say that, but the group of people we're trying. We're trying.
Right.
Trying.
I will say I do think that if there's anything that came out of the last year, it was individuals seeing that their corporations that they work for were lying all along in many cases about whether they could have a work-life balance, and having the opportunity to spend more time with their family. I think a lot of people did, they came to see if they could have a different experience, and that maybe they could be happier, that they could have a more fulfilling life. And they don't want to fall into the same trap that we sort of been in for years as Americans in particular, of just working ourselves to death from little to nothing and no appreciation. And, that is something that I think that people are considering and changing perhaps their plans for their future. Maybe they're relocating to a better place where they can be appreciated in what they do. Maybe they're getting a different kind of education, or pursuing their passion, or getting on YouTube and speaking their piece.
Well, that's a big reason why you're moving, isn't it, Gary? I mean,
freedom.
That too, yeah.
That's really it. Liberty means everything to me. And I think Jayne is absolutely right. The days of the corporations showing their appreciation by sitting everybody down in front of a video where the CEO talks about himself for an hour and then says he likes you, those days are gone. It might work in Hollywood for now because it's one of those places where people still want to work. I don't know why at this point. But that is fundamentally changing. We have learned that we can work from home and be happier. And I think that's the one good thing that's going to come out of this. You're going to see a swing back to people wanting to raise families and not be so career oriented. That's good. Because that's what America was originally about.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of like mom and pop capitalism. That's what I like. Small businesses. If you get a little big, that's fine. And if you get super rich, that's great. But, I don't think you should be running the world just because you started a book website or just because you designed or you ripped off some people and designed a computer.
Right.
That needs to stop. It stops with us. Again, that stops with us.
Well, money.
We have to disassemble it. We have to prevent them from rating the things that we love. And you know what? We did. The meme stock phenomenon is exactly the kind of thing that can that can fight these things. You're going to fight the hedge funds, the guys that raid, our corporations, things like that. You pay attention to what is being, on the what's being shorted, right? Pay attention to the short list, because being able to combat that effectively with there's a zillion of us. There's just a handful of these super rich, oligarchs. We can combat it. We can beat them back. We can drive China out of our businesses, which is what happened with AMC. We can drive these hedge funds into ruin, which, let me tell you, BlackRock right now is not in a good place as far as the bonds they own with China, Evergrande, and a whole lot of these other corporations. So, yeah, exactly. Very good.
Money out.
Yeah. So, I'm just telling you, there is a whole lot of things, but I was going to get on a roll, but I'm going to stop myself. No, I'm going to say this. We have two classics that we didn't get up on the screen. I just want to read them real quick.
Okay.
The first one is from Snowdub Live for $2. He says, "You inscribed from Mexican Iron Man, El Perro." And then we had a member chat. By the way, Scott can have members, so Scott has member chats, and there's no place that they appear anywhere for the creators.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Read this. Yeah, I'm going to read this from Brightest Day. I put it in the private chat. It says, been a member for 2 months, member for 3 months, actually. It says, Hot Pie, hail Rogues, Scott, Gary, and chat. Hail to you, Brightest
Thanks,
Day.
man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you members so much, guys. Yeah. And it's crazy that like there's over like almost 40 of you. I just don't even know how that happened. So thank you very much. Yeah. 0 hour discussions with JM Cruz here. Oh, dude, did he change his name?
Yeah, he's a good guy, dude.
He's got a channel going now. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh. Yeah, and that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I saw him live stream, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll join. I'm like, oh, that's not English.
Oh, well, well, they should let you join, or it's racist.
Right.
Hail Scott, CC, Man, Gary, and Tom, Steven, Mad, Jane, and Makini. Awesome way to start my Sunday. Oh, okay. Common sense is now on life support and dying. Really good way of putting it.
That's the Philippine currency, I believe. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cruz, and most especially thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
we have here talking to ourselves. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have 110 people in the chat. Appreciate it, guys. I don't see myself at 1,600 yet, so really get to work on that. Mr. Tickled Trunk. I mean, I know Gary brought a couple of you over here who was like, "Who the hell's Sporky News?" So you don't have to ever watch me again. Just subscribe.
That's true.
One of my favorites that watches, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
You gotta watch. They have to watch too.
Oh, do? I didn't know that.
You want them to watch at least one video, right, Gary? That's the rule, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I try to watch all your guys' stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, everybody I subscribe to.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that clarification? Everyone I subscribe to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not that important, buddy.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute. You know what? Hold on. Mr. Tickle Trunk, Scott, make everyone around you look better. I really do, because I suck. This one is for you, my friend. One that we play often, but I think it's important for tonight.
Oh, come on.
Take a deep breath.
They've done great. We got Culture Casino out there. We got Sporking News Podcast.
Sucks that I was second.
We got
whatever.
Stephen Walton. We've got Lorena Creel. We've got Vigilante Williamson. We got Jake D. I'm forgetting someone. Oh my God, I'll remember. Brain fart. But he says Kathleen Kennedy will never be fired.
It's the truth.
It's 4 out of 5 Street Smarts viewers do rate us unforgettable.
Yeah, well, it's the number 4 rated at 1:31 in the morning on a Tuesday. So that's a really good commercial right there.
That's a good record, though.
Yeah. Well, we got Brightest Day saying maybe one day I'll earn Gary's sub. Brightest Day's a good dude. Hey, Gary was my 4th sub ever. So, he does sub us and watch our shit.
Yeah, my subs are private, so you don't know if I'm sub to you or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I know it in my heart.
It's the old.
I
am, because Scott told me to sub to you, so I'm sub to you.
It is the old. It is the old saying from. It's the old saying that our boy Eric July Young Rip always says: "Focus on your content, Focus on the quality of what you're putting out, because you never know who's actually watching your stuff.
Absolutely.
That's true. Gary, you've said that to us 100 times. Yep. And also, people will see through the bullshit if you don't do what you love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Like, you don't have to be an expert in everything you talk about at all. Just, do a little research maybe, but all you have to have is an opinion, a genuine one. That's all. It's not it's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
Right. The audience is very smart, and it's not blowing smoke up the audience's ass. A lot of content creators, when they start doing this for a long time, they start thinking they're the smartest person in the room. They're not. Okay. So we're dummies. And we're just people. We're just fans. We make all the same mistakes as any other human beings do. And I watch more YouTube than I watch. I probably didn't. I didn't watch the rest of the Chappelle special because I was, watching live streams. Because it's like Dave Chappelle. I love him. I don't agree with him on everything, like any other human being in the world. There's stuff in that special I didn't like. I didn't agree with. That's fine. I don't think I called it 2 years ago, the Chappelle effect, where it's just somebody finally with a voice calling out PC culture for the first time, but there's other people doing it.
Yeah.
But now I thought more people would pick up on it afterwards, and they just didn't. It's just a bunch of cowards. And Gina has had the most balls. I would say she's got bigger metaphorical balls than Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't have the security that Dave has.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually.
Well, I mean,
her family, but it's not her.
Right.
So,
right.
And don't forget, back in the day, though, Dave did walk away from a $50 million contract when it was big time because they wanted control over his show. They wanted complete
and they tried to
control.
ruin his reputation too.
Yeah, they did. We all thought he was nuts, didn't we?
Yeah.
We all did, absolutely.
They said he was in Africa smoking crack. That was the story.
Yep.
That was the system fighting back because he didn't want to accept he didn't want to be paid off by them.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of respect for Dave Chappelle. I don't agree with
No,
everything
it's
he
hilarious
says,
that the same people who were painting many black men in some really horrible ways for years are trying to claim that we're the racist, right? But you hear the shit about Dave Chappelle and it makes you stop and think: did Martin Lawrence really go crazy, or was it some other factor? There's other things involved with that shit. There's a lot of very prolific black men when they get to a point. I think South Park was onto something. They weren't just making jokes for a reason, right? I mean, even Michael Jackson they went after, for fuck's sake. I mean, they were relentless on him.
He never did anything.
Look at the ladies. Look what they did to Letitia Wright.
Oh man, yeah, they were just wrecking her. My God.
Yeah, and they're still wrecking her. Sadly,
all MJ ever did was make Thriller.
Yeah, okay. But what I hate right now, and then we'll say hi to Christie. What I hate right now mostly is that if you don't agree, like we were just talking, they do. If you don't agree about putting a foreign chemical into your body that doesn't stop you from getting sick and doesn't stop you from getting other people sick, that I heard of. I'm not saying what we're talking about. We could be talking about. We could be consult your doctor. You're gonna get canceled. You're gonna get canceled, and it's bullshit. What's up, Christie?
What's up, Thotty?
All right, what are you doing? Look at her. Look at her. Do it. Do it, Christie. Say what you want to say.
I mean, you have Gary on here, and I don't make videos or I don't do live streams anymore, and I still got more subs than you.
She does. She really does. She really. People like you more than me. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. I'll take the L on that one, Christie. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm still a member on your channel, and you haven't done anything in a while, so I'm not sure I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah, I need to turn that off.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, kiddo.
I love Christie's live streams, the ones that last like 30 seconds. Those are the best. Those are my favorite. Mr. Tickle Trump for $2 though, Canadian. Second place is first loser. Don't get down. Absolutely. My daughter plays soccer, 7-year-olds. I keep score. And they are undefeated this season. What up? You know what? Every parent there does too. So it's bullshit that we're not like giving kids trophies that win.
Here's the problem. You have to be honest with kids. Kids are honest more. They are the most honest people in the world. A kid will tell you the way it is. Like they have no filter. And old people, super old people. Like this guy, Captain Kirk. They literally will tell you whatever's on their mind. That's the truth.
I coached t-ball for 4 and 5 year olds a few times, and I would keep score. Nobody else would. In fact, I was so proud because we finally got a double play. We've been working on it, man. And then throwing out at first, and I'm like, all right, kid, this is the part where you go back to your bench, and he just stands there, and I'm just like this. And then his coach comes out like, hey, we don't like making them feel bad, so just let them stay here. No, he can't just stay here. He's out. But we don't want him. What about my guys? They did a double play. They're 4 and 5. One still has diapers. I'm not going to tell you which one. And I was like, he was like, no, I got to stay. So then the people from the organization came. They're like, he's going to stay. It was the whole big thing. Not my fault. Wow. And then I got my team together. I said, look, you see him there? He does not exist. He is invisible. He doesn't.
Oh,
don't
Jesus,
even see
shut
him
up.
Wow.
Okay.
That still bothers me to this day.
We missed a couple, Scott.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nikki D for $5 says, which upcoming film show might wake up the normies to the awful politically driven writing in Hollywood?
Nothing.
Black Superman, Amazon's Lord of the Rings, or The Marvels?
Honestly, I think The Marvels, because the other two may be too benign in a way. Like
Black Superman, benign though?
The reason why I say that is because that's something that we care about in terms of consistency with the history. But you do have some people who they really don't care about the switching and stuff. But when it comes to the Marvels, I think the distinction there may be how the women are portrayed, the female characters. And I do think I at least for me on YouTube, I follow a lot of women who are sort of into this, I don't know if you want to call it, but a anti-feminist movement, basically where they're arguing against this thing that's happening where they're making women more masculine in Hollywood just in general. And not only that, but now attacking femininity and not displaying that at all to the extent that they can. And so I think that, at least from my perspective, I see a turning point and a shift when it comes to that, when it comes to how gender is playing out in media from a female perspective. So that could change things slightly.
Right.
I think it's more Lord of the Rings has a chance because I'm not so sure anybody's going to give a shit about the Marvels.
Well, and the thing is that what Jayne's speaking about, it speaks to heart for me personally because I see this on Twitter. Like one of the more recent things was that we had this PlayStation showcase and they were showing off a couple of games. One of the games they were showing off was called Project Eve. And immediately when people saw the character of who the main character was, people threw a fit. Especially if you had bigger outlets saying that it was character design of a bygone era. Character design that was stuck in the early 2000s when they make a comparison to this other game that features a black female as the main character. It's the same song and dance that I always see all the time, and this is where always been my fight, and I've said this multiple times. This is where been my fight in this whole culture war nonsense, whatever you want to call it, is you see on Twitter, you see all type of people complaining about objectification, complaining about over sexualization of characters and such stuff for the male gaze, as they say, stuff because it's catered to men. That's where, and I'm not going to go over those same beats, but it's those same things where it gets debunked every single time. You're not speaking to your high. You're not speaking a high horse. You don't speak for all women. You don't speak for all men. You don't speak for anyone. It's your own personal design preferences, and it's your own personal self-insecurities. If you think you're smart, you think you try to sound smart with your critiques, and in reality, you actually don't sound smart. You actually sound much more idiotic.
Right.
Well, I think the real response to that question comes down to your interests. Like that's why Jayne gave one answer, Tom gave another. Like I would have said Lord of the Rings, for myself. And I think that's really, I think it's a more personalized answer.
Everybody's going to watch Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying Jayne's wrong, but I mean, that's the thing is I think culturally, I think Lord of the Rings has a much bigger swath.
Well, I mean, but
I think everybody's gonna watch it, but I don't know that everybody's read the books. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the
Right.
only thing.
You know,
So
what
they
were you
don't
gonna
know
say,
what they're
Gary?
watching.
It's going to be about the movies, and
Well, yeah.
it's an insanely popular property.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people know how popular it is because hasn't been a gauge. There hasn't been much out there. Like there's been some games here and there, but no real product. Wait till you see the product come out, and if it's halfway decent. But I think it still might be Black Superman, depending on what they do. Just based on what I saw with Lashana Lynch as female 007, and we've been talking about
right, and the problem is
talking about it for 2 years, but when that originally came out and it was said to be like she was going to be taking over as James Bond, people freaked out, and it was a lot of people, a lot, and not just Bond fans. So
and my thing, Gary, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off.
No, he's not.
Sorry.
Mac's a jerk. Don't listen to him.
You just don't worry about it. Keep going.
No,
Mac,
and my thing is that I'm kind of agree with you, Gary, that I don't think it's going to be the Black Superman, mainly because my stance is, one, people are so accustomed to Jar Jar and what he does, and there's been this whole push for black token characters replacement.
It depends if they use. Hang on, it depends if they use Clark Kent. Like they're talking about Clark
or
Kent.
Val Zod,
and that'll a lot of people know about it, but it depends. I don't know which one they're coming out with first because I was going to say
I'm curious. Val Zod is supposed to be a show, so that's
right. And what I'm going to say is that
said about that.
Right, and
a completely different thing.
Right, and what I was going to say was that they're going to not know the problems or they're probably either they're not going to know or they're going to champion the writers. Like here's something I learned is that usually when you have like a bad film or like bad stuff comes out, you say it's like woke, progressive identity politics or stuff like that. You'll blame the actor, you'll blame the director. No, look at the writer. A lot of times, look at who's actually writing the scripts and who's greenlighting it. Who's greenlighting those decisions? Right. And I think that's what's where the root of the problem is. People are not going to look into Ta-Nehisi Coates' history. Either that or they're going to champion Coates. And you're talking about a writer who have said, and I'm quoting Yellow Flash here, and it's absolutely true. He has celebrated the fall of the Twin Towers. He has called 9/11 first responders subhuman.
Right.
In this day and age, that's not going to be scoffed at. That's going to be championed. Because
and
there's
sad
been
thing,
such this big anti-American.
And Makini, you woke me up to that. I didn't know that about him until we talked about him one day, and I was like, "Holy crap, really?" And they gave this guy, the power to write, and direct a movie. Like,
you gave someone who hates this country, who hates white people
Superman,
so much,
right?
And give him not just Superman,
and
but
Batman.
He was writing Captain America.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
He was writing Captain America.
And aren't they going to give him a movie? I thought they were giving him a movie, right, Gary?
He is going to be writing Jar Jar Abrams' movie.
That's it. Right. Okay.
Yes. So they're actively giving characters to people who hate them.
Right. You look at guys like this. Like you look at guys, and I'm trying not to bring race into this too much. But you're looking at guys like Ta-Nehisi Coates. You're looking at girls like Ava DuVernay, who's been very anti all this stuff as well, and they're getting a free pass. People are not going to look into that. That's the thing. People aren't going to look into that, and they're not going to decide for themselves if that's going to be a turnoff for their stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the best part about people like Ava DuVernay is that I know people who know her personally, and they all think she's a bitch. They won't say it to her fucking face, but they all think she's a bitch. So it's just going to take time. Like we keep saying, it's sooner or later these people will be weeded out, and look at the
Kaepernick document. Look at that whole Colin Kaepernick thing on Netflix.
The issue you're gonna have with Ava though is that she's actually produced good stuff.
She has.
She's one of those people who you may not like her attitude, but her talent is what it is.
Right.
And that's sort of the distinction. But you do have people like Coates who has zero talent and a bad attitude, and still somehow ends up with projects.
I think, like, I don't have a problem with them giving projects to people who don't necessarily like a property. However, but they have to have respect for that property.
Research, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think
these
that
are people who actually hate the character.
Right.
He's supposed to hate Captain America, hates Superman, hates what they represent.
Right, which is entirely different than somebody that is bringing a new perspective to something that they respect. They may not like, but they do respect the source material. And I think that they are mixing that up with this pure hate.
Well, you know what? This leads into this next article. Okay, let's get into another one finally, and then we'll read the super chats, and then we're going right into the article.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Tickle Trunk for a Canadian $2 says, when Scott touched me, his hand was silky soft.
That's bullshit. I work for a living. I work for a living.
Silky soft.
Yeah,
calluses.
He uses lotion.
A
lot of lotion.
I think next up is Mr. Tickle Trunk again for another Canadian $2 says, you're handsome for an ethnic group.
American.
And wait, another $2. He says, sorry, am I supposed to place what's in the brackets?
You know what? Next time, fill it in yourself.
Okay.
Guess.
Right.
I say guess.
I don't know. Human's
good. Human is always good.
Yeah.
All right, we caught up.
No, we have one more from Terminus S for $5 American dollars. Says Gary last week on FNT. I asked you about your thoughts on the new Foundation show.
Oh, I've been asking about this.
Thought the trailer was cool, but IMDb reviews were a bit polarizing.
Okay, so that's actually okay. We're not going to get right into the article because I just want to ask Gary this one question. Have you watched the trailer or read anything about Foundation on Apple TV?
I know nothing about the books because I never read them, but I've watched the trailer and kind of looked into the story. I'm gonna watch it because I heard.
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna go out. I wasn't gonna watch it because I'm freaking Apple. Who cares? Nobody's watching Apple TV.
Right.
But
Summer. No, go ahead.
Ted Lasso is awesome.
Oh, there might be good stuff on there, but nobody's watching it. So
that's the only thing.
And that's I like watching good stuff, but I also got to use my time to watch stuff that's good that I can cover. But I'm interested enough in this, but I've heard very bad and a couple of good, but most bad.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, the problem is that they created a character out of thin air to like carry the audience through because it would have been really hard to adapt. And it's funny, one of the best reviews I saw said, we've been waiting for years for an adaptation of the Foundation trilogy, and we're going to still be waiting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Let's start this next one. I think I'm reading this one. Okay, so let's jump on it. Again, we got 121 in the chat. Thank you, guys. I love you. I'm still not at 1,600. I'll let it go right now. But, I mean, I know not all of you are subscribed to me, so let's do this. Yes, Makini. Of course, you could say a lot. You have been.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm 2 away.
2 away from what?
700.
Okay, guys.
Good for you, brother.
Put his link in the chat. Makini is 2 away from 700. When I hit 1,600, can please 2 people go over there and hit him? Thank you. No, just kidding. Go over to him.
Unsub from Scott first, then subscribe.
Hey, why not? Why not? Mac, you deserve it, man. Your art is gorgeous. Mad's Mama Bear's art is gorgeous. You guys are killing it. So we're going to read a little. Okay, go for it.
No, I just want to say one more thing on that point.
You can speak about anything, Jayne.
To go with what Gary was saying, Kevin Smith, remember he said he hate watched He-Man, and yet somehow still got that project. So it's not even just they subtly hate it. They literally tell you they hate these projects and they still get them.
It is messed up, isn't it? It's messed up. And I believe Star Wars is one of the victims, one of the early victims too. So from the great John F. Trent, who I would love to have on the channel someday, new Star Wars book. Yeah, he's great. New Star Wars book to continue to desecrate Luke Skywalker's character. What else is new? A newly announced Star Wars book titled Star Wars Shadow of the Sith will seemingly showcase Luke Skywalker as a failure as he chases Uchi of Bastogne across the galaxy. Bastogne, baguette.
I have no idea.
Whoever's watching something else, please mute. The book was announced by Lucasfilm on October 7th in a blog post on the official Star Wars website. Someone you gonna say something?
Yeah, that was a character from The Fall of Skywalker.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Okay.
Right. Wasn't that the
Skywalker?
Well, was that the Sith that took the clone mom or dad and the mom, Rey's parents?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Didn't see, but we saw a perfectly intact ship on a scavenger planet, and
with that with the dagger, Gary, that lines up perfectly with an ancient dagger that lines up perfectly with something that blew up like 30 or 40 years prior.
Oh, you're nitpicking.
Totally. The thing that was vaporized, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Twice. Bigots. So a brief description of the book states Star Wars Shadow of the Sith, a novel from author Adam Christopher, takes place after Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Oh, thank God, because we all want to know what happened after that. And finds Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian on a mission to locate Exegol. So they already knew about...
Exegol.
Okay. Who cares, dude? Christopher teased the book on Twitter, writing, "So that little book I was working on. Well, Luke and Lando chase Achi, Bastogne, baguettes across the galaxy and try to rescue a certain young family on the run. Star Wars Shadow of the Sith. It's out June 2022.
Can I ask a question real quick? Because like I'm confused. Does he leave his students at his Jedi temple to go on this adventure? Does he bring them all with him?
Well, it blew
like
up.
that?
Didn't he burn it down already? Or is this?
But
No, this is before. He was just beating them then.
Well, this is after. Wait a minute.
Because like either he abandoned his school to go on this venture, or
it was a
field trip. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, getting an X-wing bus model.
Yep. Look, we all want to know what happened after Return of the Jedi. That's not the Mandalorian and crap. But they're adding more crap into it, which bothers me. Like, stop giving me fake Yodas just to sell shit that my kids have all over them. I freaking hate that thing. Right. Stop neutering Luke Skywalker and Lando, because Lando was laying everybody, and you made him a creepy old man who could barely walk in the final movie. Like, Luke Skywalker at this point was rebuilding the Jedi Order, like you were just saying, Mock.
Yeah.
Or not Mock, Mad.
I'm gonna quote a certain pimp.
A
certain pimp of the community here. Why are we
Slim?
still? What? Say that again.
Iceberg Slim?
No, just ignore him, dude. Just go.
Demogeni. Why are we still messing with the original trilogy and prequel trilogy stuff? The story is done.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. You clearly have no creative. You have no creativity whatsoever if you're still falling back to the original, making stories centered around the original prequel trilogy.
Matt, they gotta fix it, so they gotta fix it to match up with the crap that they created.
But every book they've made since has been trying to fix their trilogy. It's embarrassing.
God, it's so fun.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if he abandoned his students to go on this trip, right? I kind of have to start agreeing with Kylo for burning that motherfucker to the ground. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't taking care of any of the students, obviously. He was off running around with his friend.
Well, I mean, this might have been right before he actually built it, because it was a couple years after Return of the Jedi, right? So we don't know exactly when it was.
So he failed this and then failed again.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking failure.
Well, like, wasn't there a book about the differences in the timeline for Kylo Ren? He's like 3 different timelines for him, leaving Luke and burning down it's all messed up.
It
the
is.
Entire timeline. They don't even know what they're doing.
Oh, I don't read their books.
Look, the Emperor was thrown down a shaft and blew up. Then the Death Star blew up. Okay, he fell from outer space, burning through, the atmosphere, and landed. And the dude survived because somehow he quickly shot his essence all over the place, and that's what I'm talking about. Essence was everywhere. That dude had a monster essence, if you know what I'm talking
about. So basically, what you're saying is he pulled a Sporking News podcast. Yeah, one more in. He was able to get one more out of there before he got clipped.
It was an accident, but I love my kid. Nah, he was right though.
I totally forgot. Yeah, you got clipped, and you had a.
Yeah, well, this is what
nothing to take.
Gary, what happened was we were picking on him so much that he just had to have one more baby before the clip actually happened.
No, you know what happened? Fucking COVID and your goddamn lockdowns. I was supposed to have my appointment December 22nd, but because of COVID, they had to change it to like February something. Well, approximately on December 24th, my wife missed one day of the pill, and super sperm over here knocked her up. So what are you gonna do?
How many times did you
your kid looks remarkably like the pool guy. I'm just saying.
Hey, wow. at least he's tall. He's tall.
I'll say this because I think what Go ahead, Gary. You're more important.
No.
Thank God someone figured that out. I actually got to give you props, Mad. At least somebody figured that out. Let Gary speak.
You don't. I just said Pedro Jr. That's the
God, yeah.
Mine was better than that. So no, what I'm gonna say, Scott, is that damn it, I forgot now.
Okay, let's go on. A much lengthier.
See, Scott, your wife was saying how much success you were having on YouTube. She's like, "Oh, I got to get another anchor baby before he gets it snipped."
Wow, yeah, such success. I can't even get these people to get me past 1,600. All right, let's move on.
Rating your audience.
They love me. There's 116 people in here, and they're amazing, like Jennifer Cisco and Mr. Tickle Trunk and Tim Possible and OrdsBored now because Scott doesn't highlight my stuff.
Well, he's bored. He's still bored too. He's got
OrdsBored, man.
He's got multiple channels. Good for him.
He's got multiple channels because YouTube decided to
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he got fudged.
I'm still mad about that, by the way. I'm still angry about that.
Because it could happen to anybody. It wasn't even his fault.
Well, that's the scary thing. So, like, someone can give you a shout out, you jump up a couple hundred, and they demonetize you because it's not supposed to happen like that. That's messed up.
Yeah, Gary, don't shout out Scott. Thank you.
No, you know what, Walton? A much lengthier official description shared in the blog post because we really wanted
DSP a little bit. You're DSPN a little bit. You are.
What do you mean?
You got to talk about how many bills you have to pay.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Mr. Gregory gave you your entry. So how much are you playing Marvel superheroes, and how much are you spending on that every month?
Oh, hey, camera's on. Camera's on the whole time, huh? I didn't even know.
Whoops.
Hello.
What?
It's a gun. No, it's an old clip that it's a gun they used to use for DSP.
Oh, all right. You know it all, man, Makini. You are like a historian. You're the real historian.
Well, it's a clip where DSP was,
thank you, Caldera. Yep.
It was having some special alone time, and he would have been banned if the camera was down below. Let's put it that way.
Well,
it was all live.
Wait a minute. You could be a CNN reporter and beat off on live TV, but this guy might have got in trouble.
As long as the camera's not pointed down.
I mean, the dude took.
That's always been the rule.
You don't want to get caught tubing on.
Tubing.
Exactly.
Don't tubing it.
No. Tubing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he?
You're
try
wrong.
To give? Okay.
Okay, let's go on. It begins. Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian return in this essential novel set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. The Empire is dead. Nearly 2 decades. Okay, go. Yeah, Jane, you can stop me anytime.
Destroy it, Jane.
I was going to say, so it sounds like Mad is right.
Because it is 2 decades. Okay, so he is. Wow, why did you have to say that?
Matt was right.
But he's right.
Know anything.
Yeah, don't even know what we're talking about me being right about, but yes.
Martigan is right.
Nearly 2 decades on.
Mark it down, everybody. Date this.
Yeah, from the Battle of Endor, the tattered remnant of Palpatine's forces have fled to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But for the heroes of the New Republic, danger and loss are ever-present companions.
I never want to know this.
No,
I don't want to know any of this. Oh, no, they won, and the story was over, and they all lived full lives, and Leia ruled wisely. It was cool.
Yep.
Right.
I don't need this.
Yep. I hate this shit too. I mean, they got to even if you were just a movie watcher, they got to dance with Ewoks at the end. It was done. It was done.
The only thing like getting rid of the Ewok song at the end.
Yep.
That's the only thing I liked out of the all of the special editions.
Oh, that Ewok song was dope back in the day. Nub nub. Yeah, it was so dope. So yeah, what else are we finding out? But their companion is death or something. Even in the newly forged era piece, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is haunted by visions of the dark side. Yeah, Mara Jade's dark side, foretelling an ominous secret growing, get it? Somewhere in the depths of space on a dead world called Exegol. The disturbance in the Force is undeniable, and Luke's worst fears are confirmed when his old friend Lando Calrissian comes to him with a report of a new Sith menace. There's a lot of this shit.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, not really, but is anybody else worried that they're gonna have Lando and Luke traveling around together in this buddy cop like scenario, and that they're not gonna make out? Like,
oh, they're docking, brother.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of those like I mean, I would do it if you want to do it.
And Lando's gonna like introduce him to the ideas of humping
robots
like toasters, and if you can stick it in there, it works.
I'm being honest.
What?
Go on.
I'm being honest because like they struggle. No, Gary started speaking, so I shut up immediately.
Good job. You're smart.
So no, I was just going to say that they have a real problem with having two men in a non-sexual way be on screen together.
That's true.
Like it
has gone far.
As soon as they see them, they're like, oh, well, they're obviously into each other.
Right.
I mean, they've already made Lando asexual or something weird. Like
Pando.
Yeah. Look at Lando, soy child, dunk lover.
Yeah.
He was really into Phoebe Waller-Bridge's robot.
Yep. Yeah. And he put her into the Falcon, right?
I have no idea.
And then
he was putting a lot of things into that droid.
Yeah. Well, he's putting a lot of things in. Well, he's putting one thing specifically into the Falcon, but anyway, I don't know. A lot of places.
Disney Star Wars, yo.
Well, after his daughter was stolen from his arms, Lando searched the stars for any trace of his lost child. But every new rumor only led to dead ends and fading hopes until he crossed paths with, I keep wanting to say Uche of Bastogne.
Don't say like that.
Yeah.
Come on, don't do Uche like that.
No,
chasing down the linebacker with a lightsaber. Right?
A Sith assassin tasked with kidnapping a young girl. It's Rey's whatever.
This came from the criticism of his character abandoning his child. Like they created that stupid storyline in their trilogy, and now they have to correct that.
Right. Yeah, because they broke so many different things. Do you realize how many books they have to write to unbreak things, and they're going to break more things? Because every time they try to fix something, they effed it up more.
It was hard on the culture. They didn't have any books or comics.
Culture. It's like when you put out a patch for Cyberpunk 2077. When you try to fix one thing and then everything else becomes broken.
What bothers me? Well, let me ask: Gary? Have you figured out how?
Gary left this conversation.
Well, I would leave too. I would. Well, when Steven's here, it gets gay. Well, anybody. Let me ask you this: how if the essence of
that went everywhere?
Of the Emperor that went everywhere when he filled one of his clones up. When that clone died, the essence went into the next one. So how did a failed one live if the essence was in another one?
And not only that, but was removed from this one because it was a defective clone.
That's what I'm saying. It was defective. So it had.
I'm sorry. Are you referring to Snoke?
No. I'm referring to Rey's dad. How did Rey's dad bang somebody if that was defective and the essence was moved into the new clone of Palpatine? Anybody?
Well, I think the essence and cloning is two different things, right?
No,
this was not a traditional clone. This was it was a vessel.
A vessel,
specifically to hold his essence.
Right.
I still can't get past the fact that I watched him explode.
I feel like we're just gonna have
right.
Augustine of Hippo be like, well, some things you just don't understand.
It shouldn't exist as a
theology
humanoid
joke.
being, let alone having children and family. Like it
This is
doesn't
a
make any. They
glorious-
need a new book to fix it.
This is a glorious opportunity for Disney to make another bad father. They just have Lando, and they probably didn't think it through very well. And oopsie, but that's the way it goes with Disney. Bad father all around.
Well, and then Jayne, like you always bring up, taking the black actor and making sure that there's definitely something like that. Like he's either a deadbeat dad, like abuser, drug addict, something like that.
Yeah, does he park his ship down by the river? I just want to
or hitting different black stereotypes. Basically, it's like you're saying, like we want to make this strong black female character, but then they have to make them like all this black stereotypes. But then they complain when someone else makes a black character and it's filled with black stereotypes.
Well, welcome.
Batwoman is the ultimate experience, right? I mean, the
Batwoman
mom who wrote that show, she knows what's up. So.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, don't worry, because Uche's true motivation remains.
Why do you say
I feel so bad for him, man.
I'm saying
I said Uche all throughout my review.
Okay.
I feel like we need to bring Uche on just to apologize.
And you know what? You know what I would do? I would apologize to that big ass man.
Yeah, he was an offensive lineman. Yes.
I know.
Apologize.
I know. Motivates remain
across the internet.
He could. Yeah,
No, he was offensive lineman for the
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
He was
offensive lineman for the Jaguars. Yeah.
I think he was a guard or tackle. Yep.
I believe guard. Yeah.
Okay. So Uche, true motivations remain shrouded to Luke and Lando for. On a junkyard moon, a mysterious envoy of the Sith Eternal has bequeathed a sacred blade to the assassin, promising that it will give him answers to questions that have haunted him since the Empire fell. In exchange, he must complete a final mission, return to Exegol with the key to the Sith's glorious rebirth, the granddaughter of Dark Sidious himself, Rey.
Oh Lord!
I hate all of this.
Actually, look, that description of this has left me tumescent at the moment. I'm very excited for this.
Anybody notice that the two black people were the ones screaming Rey?
Right. That's the legacy.
That's the legacy.
Right. That's what they do with black characters.
I know it's being a dead horse, but it's like, Jesus Christ, you missed the ball with Finn. You had so much potential with this freaking character. And you just destroyed every ounce of it in every single step you made.
Yep. Yeah. And it's not just us saying that. I don't know. Some people's ex-wives are bringing this type of stuff up. You destroyed a legacy, something that would have gone on forever, generation after generation. Father,
a great hero arc. You know what I mean, with Finn. Especially after at the end of the Force Awakens. When he was hurt, and the potential for that character to grow.
Exactly.
We've talked about this a billion times, but it would have been one of the most interesting dives into like the thought process of somebody who left the Empire that was pretty much brainwashed into believing one way.
He would have been. I won't say he would have been on the. I wouldn't say he would have been on the level of like a Luke, but he would have been that popular of a character.
I think so.
If it went that way, giving him like even his own trilogy, or giving him his a huge story arc.
Right.
Probably his own trilogy. Yeah.
Even John, even he knew it because like he talks about how when he went to go read for JJ, he did it in a more serious, very missing a word, but you know what I mean? A very serious, like no bullshit kind of a way. And JJ's like, nah, let's make it jokes. You got to do some jokes.
Yeah, look, my thoughts about any of this is that they can only make it worse. They have no shot of making it better. They have one person who actually tries to stay within the lines, and even he's being put in a position where he can't. Or
you get one get kicked out too. I mean,
that's an actor.
Trevorrow.
Well, yeah, no, you're right, Trevor. Yeah, but no, but I mean, Favreau's probably the only person that really wants to keep the thing on the rails, and I can't even say for 100% that that's the case anymore. So it's very disappointing. But we have a bunch of super chats backed up.
All right, get to them, buddy.
We got a small time for $2 saying any magic tricks tonight.
No, Scott banned all joy from the stream.
Actually, I thought you would do one we said at the end of every stream.
Oh, I have a new one. I'll be back.
Yeah, Summer.
I want a magic trick.
He's terrible.
Oh, it's awful. No. It's awful. And I have to say, there are super stickers. Magic. There are super stickers in the chat for trees. I think these are directed towards Mr. Walton.
Maybe he likes trees.
I hate my list.
He likes trees. Actually, talking about Mr. Walton, real quick, we have another commercial.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. We have another commercial.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, should I get to 2K subs first or Stephen Walton?
You.
Yeah. Do you even know who he is?
No.
Truth.
Terrible.
I'm here with Tugs, and we're trying to find out who should. Well, wait a minute. Who should hit 2K first? Myself, Sporking this podcast, or Stephen Walton?
Who the fuck is Stephen Walton?
Head to Tugs.
No one knows.
Subscribe to this guy.
Did I already do this one? Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Ryan Kinnell.
Okay. What the fuck? Say my name right, motherfucker. Ryan Kinnell.
Ryan Kinnell. First person to 2K, myself or Stephen Walton?
Well, that's a tough question. It's two very undesirable answers.
Right.
But
yes,
I'm
that's
on
true.
Sporking's channel, so I guess I have to say Sporking News Podcast.
Do you even know who Stephen Walton is?
I do, because he made a video about how you were using me for clout the other day. So I actually watched that.
Oh, you did watch that?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
I'm here with Shouldn't be saying that out loud. And gamers, and I have a question for you, sir.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Who should hit 2K subs first, myself or author Stephen Walton?
Who the hell's Stephen Walton?
I hate you.
You're welcome.
By default, because I don't even know who the other person is. You're a great
culture edited this, didn't he?
You've inspired me.
I mean, I didn't want to tell everybody that.
You inspired me to do better because your stuff is so bad. But
yeah,
but in all seriousness,
100% true.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Someone told me he loved Prey Trees or something like that. He wrote or Wrinkle in. Couldn't think of
Tree.
any other book. Couldn't think of another book.
One thing, Geeks Gamers is not affiliated. But we do love Sporking News.
Minor
Sporking News. Get him to 2,000 subs. Love
this
dude.
Thank you, brother. Well, minor, major, whatever.
Scott, I have a Ryan clip that I'll save for the end.
Okay.
Back real quick. Macklin made it for $2.
Hey, thank you.
Lando left for the blue milk. Wow, I almost screwed that up. Hail, Gary and SNP.
Thank you. She's a sweetheart.
Much.
She's a sweetheart.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a channel member at that. So hooray.
Yes,
and
thank you.
We may be caught up or it jumped on me. I don't know. I think we're caught up.
We're caught up.
You said a bunch. That was 2.
Okay, let me just finish. Well, that's a bunch for us.
That was multiple about me.
Not like Gary, who has to do a whole other video just to catch up.
This is amazing. People really.
I want your problems, Gary. That's what I'm saying.
These people are really into into this. Who is Scott? Or excuse me, who's Walton thing? Who's a Steven guy? I love it.
I love it. So let's just finish this description with Uche hunts Rey and her parents to the edge of the galaxy. Luke and Lando race into this mystery of the Sith's lingering shadow and aid a young family running for their lives and fail miserably. I mean, really, isn't that what it's about?
He looks so happy in that picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's another situation where we know how it ends. So why are you telling us this depressing story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like you were saying earlier, Jayne. They got to fill in all the blanks for all the bad storytelling that they already did.
And there's a lot of blanks.
What the hell is that?
Sorry.
I have no idea.
Sorry.
Mute.
You're fine.
They can fill out blanks till the end of time because that's all there is with this story. It's not even a
shooting
story.
blanks.
It's like bullet points.
Oh, I missed Sax's.
That's how JJ writes a script. It's just bullet points with one single word. Lens flare, boom, MacGuffin, lens flare. You know, time, distance don't matter. That should probably be part one of the bullet points and collect money.
Yep. I mean, every JJ, like
It's like
I
the
learned
underwear
after
gnomes.
Lost. Oh, those bastards. Yep. I learned after Lost not to trust JJ.
Lost loves Game of Thrones.
Oh God. I'm still gonna do reviews on House of the Dragon because I got to, but I'm just not. I'm not excited
I
at
can
all.
do them with you.
You know what story they're adapting?
Yeah.
It's not a good story. It's not. It's not supposed to be. I don't know how they're going to make that into something people are going to want to watch.
It's going to be dragons because there's going to be. First of all, they say it's so expensive, but there's going to be 17 different ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. But the story. I mean, you guys.
Boring.
It's boring as hell, and there's nobody really that likable, and everybody dies, and all the dragons die. Sorry.
Yeah. It's
spoiler.
Sad, but it still will be cool to see the dragon fights.
Yeah, but I'd rather have the invasion of Westeros by Aegon and his sisters.
That sounds like a cool story.
Yeah,
I've always said
dude. Yeah, I know you have. That would have been amazing. Or even if you want to go farther back than that, the Valerians versus the Ronar. That would have been dope. I mean, you have water wizards versus fire. Fire.
Well, I think what attracted them to you said boring, which is true, but it's the political stuff.
Yeah,
they're trying to do the Game of Thrones formula.
Yeah, but you're missing. Okay, so we love the political stuff, and that was the best stuff they did, and they adapted that. But what made it good was George's dialogue, which they don't have. They have statements. So it's a historical tale that they are adapting. By the way, they're adapting a story that was written years ago, but it was put in a book that George stopped writing A Song of Ice and Fire to write. So it delayed A Song of Ice and Fire, which led to the destruction and disaster of Game of Thrones. That's the book right there.
Book.
That book delayed. That book screwed up the series.
Yep.
Book screwed up the series, and they're adapting a story from it, which is hilarious. I think it's funny. But no, it ends like you got to find likable characters, and maybe they can do it, but they're not going to have George's dialogue.
No
White Walkers, and that threat of the White Walkers
right
over the whole story made it more interesting because you have all this political intrigue, but you're all they're crazy. They need because these two rivals are going to have to team up.
Right.
That's the point. That's what they were all setting up that they delivered on.
Well, don't forget this, Jayne. You'll agree, and Gary, like one of the greatest moves ever in a book was in Game of Thrones, the first book, where he introduces you at the very beginning to the White Walkers. I mean, you never see him again. Never see him again.
But they're always in the back of your mind.
But you always know that they're there. But now you're dealing with all this political intrigue and backstabbing, knowing that like this is petty compared to what's really coming.
I think it's basically. I think maybe Gary had described it this way before, but it's basically going to be a soap opera with dragons.
Okay, I'm listening.
The dragons that they're wanting to sell it because I know that's why I want to see it. I really just want to see.
I've heard Scott and Jayne talk about the books, and I'd like to see more magic involved because they told us a lot of stuff was cut out of Game of Thrones that was in the books.
Yeah.
I have always said they need more magic.
Well, yeah. Oh my God. You know what? Season 1 was pretty faithful. Season 2, when you get to like the end of season 4, it starts to change. And they didn't have to. Like everybody, okay, George has effed up. We're gonna still get the books, whatever. But they could have taken book like 3, 4, and 5 and made 10 seasons out of it.
I got a George R. R. Martin black pill for you, buddy.
Oh my! I'm never taking it.
Don't break his heart.
He has to be dead for 5 years before I'll do it.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
He finishes the book.
Yeah. Well, because you never know. You never know.
You never know.
I love Nina and Scott, but
Nina,
Nina, excuse me.
Wow.
I love Nina too, though.
Yes, I love Jayne and Scott. Man, I'm sorry.
I like Nina.
Yeah,
Nina's
no,
cool.
but well, there's a reason that was in my head. But Gary, you got to help me. Tell them they're never going to get their books.
They're never going to get their books. He's posting every
It's
day.
not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen.
He's doing, and it sucks. I hated coming to terms with that. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I'm like, I can't wait anymore. I'm going to go move on. and I'm just going to make videos ripping this guy now because I spent a lot of money on. I mean, I have collectible books. I've read them multiple times, and that's my fault. That's my fault. I'm the sucker. I thought he'd finish. I'm a dummy.
Yeah.
But not anymore. I'm not going to give him a penny, nothing, zip until he gets at least Winds of Winter out.
Right.
And that's not happening. You know, he said too much in that blog post a year ago.
Yeah.
Said too much. And a lot of us were able to deduce like where he was in the book. And they're like, oh shit, he's only halfway done.
Which I still found impossible though. Like, but you know, so what Gary's saying, everyone, is Winds of Winter 2028. And then Dream of Spring 2031. So thank you, Gary.
So dead.
23. So it's a year after next for Winds of Winter.
Yeah. Have you
God, are we talking about the same George R.R. Martin? Because the one I am thinking of will not be around in 2028.
I mean, he's a cheeseburger away. You're right.
I think he's almost done.
Done with what? Life? Yeah, probably. If he keeps hopping up and down on that trampoline.
Yeah, look at it this way. The collaboration he's doing with the From Software developers on Elden Ring, that game is going to be out, and they're going to have a complete edition of that game before he even finishes that last book.
Why is he working on a game?
He's working
on a game.
Why?
Okay, Gary, go through what he's working on right now, other than the books.
He's developing five series of his own, helping 3 other people develop their series, working on that game, writing that game, and writing another book and editing wild cards.
Yeah, that's what pissed me. Okay, so I got really angry the other day when he announced a book in November, and it turned out to be just a rehashing or a reprinting of wild cards. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm doing a Game of Thrones video, like that's what I was working on right before I jumped on, for just to give people an idea, just a basic idea of what the Dance of the Dragons or the
right.
I mean, I'd rather had Red and Black scary.
I would rather have just about anything than Targaryens. I'm not the biggest Targaryen fan, so I'll admit that. I think they're Valerian. Hell yeah,
yes,
that would be cool, but not
or Dunkin' Egg. That would be dope.
I would that would be so much better I would love that.
Yep.
I like all of the different histories, but I'm a history buff anyway, so I like the history of this world that he created, and I would probably enjoy it. But I do feel like a lot of this is a distraction, from what he should be working on, and it is sad when you think about what we're missing.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't work on the show too much because that would really take his time away from everything. And they're going to need him because when he walked away from the show, whatever, there was a split between him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that the show turned into something it wasn't. For we've read George R. R. Martin, so the Dance of the Dragons ends the way A Song of Ice and Fire is going to end. It's not going to be a happy ending at all. Most everybody will be dead.
Right.
I don't know if many people will be satisfied, and maybe that's what was in his head.
Right.
Because and it turned into a fan service show that was relying on all those reaction. But I liked him too, after the Red Wedding, you see all the people watching.
Those were hilarious
videos. Yeah, but that's what the show turned into.
I mean, for those of you who have read the books, do you think he painted himself into a corner? You think he's exhausted from this?
They call it. Building? I mean, they actually call it the Marinese Knot because he has one of the main characters, Dany, stuck in Essos, and she has to get over to Westeros. The problem is she there's so much going on where she's not even anymore, in Marinese. She's actually in the Dothraki Sea. So if it follows the show at all, she still has to go all the way through the Dothraki Sea to the Mother of the Mountain to get the Khalasar to come all the way back. There's a lot she has to do before she can go to Westeros.
That was all nonsense.
Right.
All you just said.
If I told you what they end her story on, what she what the big reveal is at the end, you would not believe it. So
what's the big reveal?
She menstruates.
Yeah, that's the big reveal at the end of the book.
Reveal at the end. Everything leads up to she menstruates.
Yep.
Was it a free flow?
Was she a man before? What? I don't get the significance.
Okay, so when she gave birth and the baby died and Drago died.
Babies anymore. Yeah, so
right.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. Yes, you still can. You can have babies, obviously, but there was like big significant meeting to that, and
yes,
what it was supposed to do, it was supposed to end with a battle,
right?
And he cut those battles out to put in the next book. He's all, I'll have the next book out pretty soon, so I'll just clip these chapters off with Barristan fighting and her actually returning to Marine, and we're still waiting. So we just read Daenerys' whole story. It's a waste of time, and poor Jon. The thing is both Dany and Jon are bleeding at the end of that's the whole point of it. And that was they're supposed to be bleeding, and it's supposed to be significant, but we'll never know because they're going to be bleeding forever.
Probably. Let's finish these super chats there, Culture, while I look for Zaz 7's super chat. And then we'll jump into a real quick last little thing I wanted to cover because we got Gary here, and then we're done. You have those super chats, my friend, and I don't see his though.
Yeah, I don't see it. We missed a member message I wanted to read from Larry, who's been a member for 6 months, or
He's
actually
awesome.
12 months in total, 6 months at his current level. Says, here's a member chat Scott won't see. LOL. Congrats on the new baby Spork. And
That's
boy,
true.
was he right.
That's true.
We didn't see it.
Did we miss Nikki D?
Nikki D, I think we got the Nikki D one. I'll read it anyway.
Yeah, please do. Oh, yeah, we did. I'm sorry. That was the Black Superman.
I think I have Zach. I would call him Zach. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, but it was about YetiCast and his trailer that he's coming out with.
Oh, it's gonna be
the one
great.
you're helping him with, Culture.
Yeah. Very excited.
YetiCast is awesome.
That one is one that I'm going to suggest he enters into a contest and he will win. We have been editing that for days. I mean, he put like 2 hours into it, right before he got over here to do this stream.
Well, he's also editing all of our D&D because we play it with Lit Devil and
I don't care about your streams. Darius though had a super sticker with popcorn.
Oh, thank you, Darius.
Thank you,
traditional box of popcorn. And Mr. Trickle Trunk for a Canadian $5 says, someday you'll go far, Scott. And I hope you stay there.
I fucking love him. I love him.
We also have another one that I'm going to bring up here that I'm chasing through the stream to get to, guys. Thank you for the super chats. I know Scott appreciates.
Guys, you don't even get it. Like, first of all, George, you surpassed, and this has been probably one of my best streams of all time. Diapers
ain't cheap.
They ain't, bro. And we just thought we were done with them. Hey, guess what? We're back in. So thank you guys very, very much.
What happens to people like having like diapers, like cloth diapers, and wash?
Oh, my wife, when her first daughter wanted to be like that all natural, because every parent changed from child 1 to 3. She was gonna try that after one time. We were like, yeah, we're not doing this.
No,
we are not doing this. It's gross.
Yeah, well, life's gross, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Back up. Anyway,
okay.
Macklin made it for $2. Says sleep calls. Cool to see Gary on SNP.
Most people say that. Yeah, most people love that. He should be on more often. Actually, you've been on quite often in the last few months, so I really appreciate that, Gary.
No problem. Gary's awesome. Mr. Tickle Trunk for another Canadian $5. I think that's the equivalent of $1.50, right? Anyway, Scott is so doubly. I'm just kidding, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Scott is so doubly blessed. 1, he's loud. 2, he's always so generous with his advice, even when people don't want to listen.
That is true.
What a guy.
That's true. Very true. Very true.
I think a lot of people want to say, let's go Brandon right now. So I'm just
one of my favorite things of the last year.
Who's Brandon?
Brandon. Oh God, you're so lost. Hey guys, we're only 13 away from 1600. I know a lot of you.
It's the guy who does the thing. He's the guy. The guy.
That guy.
Yeah. The COVID-19.
Why are you verbally licking my ears right now? What is going on with your audio?
Wow.
I'm the president.
That's a strange description.
What is this up here, Tom? Before
tickles.
We talk about the Death Star going in front of our moon.
This is proof. Well, not proof, but you guys were talking about J.J. Abrams. Well, he's infiltrated another franchise. Here you go. the one thing to defeat He-Man. I stole it from J.J. Abrams. It's a mystery box.
But what'll it do?
I don't know. It's a mystery box.
What's inside?
I don't know. It's a mystery. He did it again.
Wow. That was
Tom.
awesome. That was awesome. All right, real fast because
Not really. I know.
No, it's awesome. We almost hit
You're
the
such a nerd.
2-hour mark, and I want to make sure just to share this because I thought this was kind of interesting. They say the Death Star UFOs spotted flying at high speed across surface of the moon, sending alien conspiracy theorists wild. So
Was
this just
Palpatine spreading his essence out of it?
I don't know about that.
That's no moon.
Oh, that's dirty. As you can see, the circle always tells you what's going on. It actually had a shadow. If you look at both pictures, a shadow going across. That's not a moon.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting. So, the bonker theory gained motion when footage of a black object zooming across the moon's surface was shared online. Conspiracy theorists say the strange mass, which looks like a meteor, was an alien craft of Death Star proportion. As the camera traces around the moon, it locks onto a small object that appears in the top right corner and races across the surface of the moon, leaving a massive shadow before disappearing into the darkness. The footage was filmed by a Serbian woman on August 23rd and shared on...
you skipped the name.
That's fine. Shared on Hidden Underbelly 2.0's YouTube channel, so thank you. And she did it with a Nikon camera. So what do you guys make of this? Are we alone in the universe? Will we have first contact? Are they leaking it slowly? Gary, I haven't been able to see it. I don't know if you've been doing the exozone lately, so tell me, what's up?
Can you increase the size of the picture?
Yeah. Control scroll.
Okay,
wheel.
I got you, boys.
Thank you.
I would have really thought the Death Star was bigger than that.
Yeah. Is there video?
Go ahead, Gary.
Is there a video of this?
You know what? Let me look. I think that's a great idea. Hold on.
We have to say thank you to Dragana Redskik.
I'm willing to bet.
Okay, here
it
we
might
go.
Be, oh, there it is.
That's the size of the Death Star?
That's not the size of the Death Star.
No, that's not.
But it is leaving a shadow.
That looks like an space junk asteroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be just space junk.
Or they could be going to fill up the Black Knight satellite.
Or the Black Knight satellite.
Right.
We're not alone in the universe. That's
Nope.
ridiculous thought. That's the most ridiculous thought ever. Yes, they visit us. Yes, UFOs are real.
You are not alone.
In 1955,
I think I finally saw one. I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, take it down.
Scott, take it down. Turn it down.
Okay,
baby. Turn it down.
okay.
Turn it down,
Shut.
baby.
I thought it was somebody else. Shut up. Go on, Gary.
Scott, turn it down.
No, it's
Turn it
okay.
down, baby.
Thanks,
I
man.
was coming back from seeing Christie Mayer in Vegas. So it was just a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
On the outskirts of Bakersfield. So I'm driving on the freeway. That's why I couldn't take a picture or pull out. I wanted to, but I was going like 90. And we were outside. It was like in the it wasn't Bakersfield. What the hell was it? Baker. And middle of desert. We're going through like a hilly area, and I saw what I thought was a helicopter. I'm like, that's a helicopter. Big deal. Not looking at it. I'm like, God, that's a weird looking freaking helicopter. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was a test, like a military drone. It could have been that. I'm totally open to that. But this thing was weird. So it was diamond shaped.
What?
Okay.
It was a diamond shaped metallic. You can and like it's weird. You see the whatever I saw, you're used to seeing them in fuzzy pictures, but no, this was like if you're looking at a helicopter, it is about a helicopter height.
What?
And that thing, and it was spinning. So like the tips were spinning like this. I'm like, and it was too big to be like a balloon. This thing was big.
Holy shit.
And and I wasn't the only car. A bunch of cars, like we all started slowing down on the and then it just went away, and we're like, okay. So I don't know, like it could have been a military thing or whatever. It was
Well, how big was it again?
I would say it was about half the size of a helicopter.
Wow, dude.
Like a military helicopter.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at first I thought it was just a regular helicopter, but it was definitely, I got a good look at it. It was a diamond, like a multi-sided diamond shaped thing.
That's crazy.
That is so cool.
Wow.
Well,
And
what
I'm
do you?
I think I just saw one and I couldn't stop and take a goddamn picture of it, and it's there's probably a perfectly normal explanation for it, but I've never seen anything like that in my life. So
Yeah, you've said that a lot. Final Death Star goes and sees, like, he's like, what's his name? The dude who, the jacked guy from that wants to disclosure, Dr. Green, right? No.
He just finds him. He just goes out and
Greer, Dr. Greer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Final Death Star. He goes out and he's just like, oh, another fucking UFO that I'm going to take videos of. It's unbelievable.
Greer's lost his credibility with me. Like, I guess.
Same here. He went a little. He started getting into the culty, like contact them through meditation shit.
Yep.
Like, So, and I think that's what happens to a lot of them. They get a lot. They get a lot of money from this, and when you're talking about UFOs, you're reliant on the next UFO story, or you got to go find it yourself.
Right.
They come up, like, let's face it, a one that's going to capture the public's eye happens once every 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last good one? Over Arizona, and that's been a while.
Tic Tac.
The Tic Tac, yeah, but they that happened a while ago. But yeah, so there's people that are still trying to push that's another military, which I can't fathom anything going that fast, not losing speed any direction it goes.
If we have stuff that can break the laws of physics, and you're telling us we're not using it to deliver stuff, I mean, come on.
Why doesn't Amazon already have this?
I know, right? That's high-speed delivery service right there.
Bezos is already working on that shit, right?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yep. Enter the Unfamiliar. Yes, that is Final Death Star. Enter the Unfamiliar does great shows, man. The guy is awesome. Please make sure to subscribe to him after you hit me to 1,600. I need about 10 more of you. No, always support Final Death Star. He's the best of us.
Yes.
The guy he's seriously the best of us.
He talks about the Nephilim a lot.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love the whole lore of whether it's real or not. The lore is brilliant. So.
It is brilliant. And Randall Carlson's Atlantis thing, I started that the other night.
Dude,
I can't stop
that. And he's going to get booted off of YouTube now.
Why?
Because if you are a climate change denier, they're dropping the axe on you.
Oh, that's right.
He was anticipating it anyway. He was. I actually talked to his handler because he was going to do traveling the Scablands. Last month, and I almost had like a week to do it. I'm like, but they didn't have a spot opener. I would have gone.
Oh, dude, that would have been dope. I mean, he is brilliant for a self-taught man. He is brilliant. He has proven, for me, without a shadow of a doubt, massive flooding in the northwest of America. I mean, massive, like
everywhere. Well, you have those flood stories in pretty much every culture.
Every culture.
So something happened.
Right. The only one that counts is the one in the Bible. Love you, Jesus. By the way, has anybody got an update on that ozone hole? I was thinking about it the other day.
It's filling in.
Weird. Okay, but that's a natural phenomenon. It grows and shrinks. It's just like everything else in our planet. There's a bigger cycle we don't understand. We don't have enough recorded history. A lot of recorded history was lost to the sands of time, fire, war, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, let's actually just put our arms around the idea. We don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if you remember Fern Gully.
We don't have an explanation for a lot of things like Stonehenge and Billie Eilish, but
the Billie Eilish thing is going to stump us for decades to come. But for fun,
have you read America Before by Graham Hancock?
I haven't got it. That's his newest book, right?
Read it. There is oh my God.
I love Grant. He's one of my favorites.
I was putting it off because I was like,
same here.
How much more does he have to add? But like, I picked it up a couple of months ago and it's really good. There's a chapter in there, talked about it last night, that talks about if a piece of a comet blows up in our atmosphere, like what happens, creates a plume, right? And that plume brings in absolute zero from space.
Right.
So but if you're like a living being under that, you burn to death in like a nanosecond, you burn to death, freeze to death, and then die.
So wow, is he talking about the Younger Dryas, like how it went up, dipped up? Yeah, okay, dude.
It was multiple. They think over 21-year period, this was the Earth was hit with pieces of a comet.
Mm-hmm. Holy crud!
Yep, and it was just raining hell for 21 years, and it was every time they went through the I forgot.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. Twice a year we go through it, right? It's
the I can't remember. It's a meteor. It's a meteor shower. But it's the tail of a comet that we travel through twice a year.
Yes,
and there's still very big pieces in this, and we just hit a bad spell.
Is that the same one with like the UFO behind it that are turning all the machines on? We made you. That's
it's not.
Maximum Overdrive.
Good try, though.
Stephen
Wow.
King movie.
Not
Wow.
the hip-hop one.
Everyone out there, I'd like to apologize. I don't know.
You'll never have to worry about Mads being here again.
Yeah, no, I screwed up. God,
this isn't easy, man. My jokes, it's like a ninja. Like I'm just one person in the chat laughing.
Yeah, well, that's anyways.
Oh, you were telling jokes? Oh,
yeah. That's it, Gary. You just hit the nail on the head.
Oh my God.
What do we got, buddy?
One more super chat here. 0 hour discussions with Jam Cruise for another 50 Philippine
his
pesos,
his money.
Filipino pesos.
I believe it is. Yeah,
it's about $5.
Any thoughts? I have no idea. Any thoughts on Welcome to Raccoon City trailer? I don't even know what that is.
It's that new. Go ahead, Jane. You know more about it.
No, I was just gonna say it looks like a made-for-TV movie trailer. It's just
the new Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What is it now? Welcome to Raccoon City.
And it's so bad that it's bad. It's just bad.
Is it a video game or a movie?
It's a movie. It's a live action movie.
Isn't it going straight to Netflix or some shit like that?
Yeah, it's going straight to Netflix.
That doesn't mean as what it used to mean, though. You know?
It does in this case.
Oh, it does. All right. No, I haven't seen it either. I don't want to play it because this is my best stream, and I'm gonna let people watch it.
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about the 1954 Greada Treaty?
You know what? Let's do that next week.
Okay.
Hold on to that thought.
All right. Right.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I really appreciate the chat was on fire. We have 116 people out there still. We've been pretty much keeping that the whole time with 156 likes.
Despite Mad being here.
Right, despite him being here. It's almost like
them. Gary brings them in and I keep them involved, like gets engaged.
It's like Stig is the only one that truly loves you, but I am 10 away from 1,600. I hate pimping myself this much because we go with the whole this is what it is idea here, but let's get me there. I love you, Mads Mama Bear. I didn't say that earlier, so
Mads.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Mads.
So thank you to the chat. Do we have anything left there, my friend? Culture, do we have anything else we have to say?
I believe we caught up everybody in the super chats. I want to say on behalf of myself and my t-shirt that this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. Thank you all for being here. Best chat on
quick
YouTube.
story.
Does it have monkeys?
No, unfortunately. That's for Comics Division.
What does it got?
Well, it's down here. They're going after Bill Maher now. Like they keep making me have to defend Bill Maher, and I hate this shit.
Right, exactly.
Why? What are they going?
Well, because he was.
You guys have time? I mean, we can go over it.
It's not even that long of a story. I guess he made a bad transphobic joke again the other night.
Control scroll wheel.
Can I just before you start this? Can I just while you do that?
I'm not going to play the video. So
transphobia is like the trump card. So you have like less than 1% of the 1% of the population in a group, and this is the trump card. Like I love how Dave said it. Like he was just there at getting white people, and then they were like, boom, I'm trans. Like it is the trump card now that if you come at anybody who's transgendered, even like not complimenting them, it's considered transphobic. And I don't understand it. If you don't believe they should be allowed in certain bathrooms, you're transphobic. If
you don't recognize that someone who is not a biological woman is a woman,
right?
Then you're transphobic. And I'm sorry, but that's ground that a lot of women are not going to give.
Right. Like if you don't recognize that someone who gives birth isn't just biological women.
Well, Yeah, didn't Chappelle equate it to blackface?
Yes,
he did. Yeah, he did.
And that's a really good point, especially with the whole turf thing that he was talking about. I admire. She's got a lot of FU money, but I admire J.K. Rowling on this one stance.
Yes,
just one stance, and she's a good writer for one series of books, not for anything else. All her other books suck.
Yeah,
never read a page.
Oh, don't. I've read a couple. I couldn't get that far in. No, I just completely agree. I think that whole turf thing is total bullshit. And in an era where it's supposed to be like a feminist era, and all of a sudden dudes come in and take over. It's hilarious. It's
like we can't have anything.
No.
This is what it feels like. Men are taking over makeup. I'm just like,
well, it's like I love the other joke that it's like fucking that one dude I said it the other night.
Bless you.
Bless you. The Playboy thing. Where's the women speaking out on that, right? Like, can't they have that too? I mean, a lot of women were very proud to be in Playboy, and it pays pretty good. So it's another job that's being taken by a man.
Well, I heard a female comedian, and then I'll let you read this, but I heard a female comedian ripping on feminists and you ruined it. We had the secret. We had the secret to life. We had no job, and then you gave it away because you wanted careers and you wanted it all. Now you have two jobs, mom, a lot of women, mom and career.
Yep.
It's just not fair.
If y'all know anything about me, is that I'm always for more men in movies and less women.
Want
them out of the movies. And that's the only good thing about that. That's what's happening right now, is that they were trying to replace women with men or make women as masculine as possible, which I'm on board for.
All right.
There is a segment of the male population that appreciates entirely masculine male figures in entertainment, but
right.
No, I just don't need a love story in my
let's hear what he
movie.
said.
There's a new James Bond movie out. I can't do as good impression as Kyle can. Anyway, he was offered Meyer during his monologue. Even that's controversial, because he has to step up with the times. And they have stepped up with the times now with James Bond. He still sleeps with 3 beautiful women. 2 of them have a penis. So evidently that's a transphobic joke, kids.
What?
Says worse shit than that in his sleep.
Yeah.
I think that's a great joke, actually.
Can I ask
Samar? That's a pretty good joke. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of his writers, just laid off something just one day, and they were able to do, something good for him. But I feel like that's the kind of joke that should be safe.
I don't even see how it's transphobic.
All jokes should be safe.
Well, and of course they go on like Chappelle said. They go on about how he has a history of transphobia, and how he's talked.
Do they cite it? See, this is the problem.
They do actually
I've had
a few
with
things.
Yeah, but the point is, we reviewed a bunch of articles ever since this crap came out, and with the Chappelle show, the closer, and I'm always like, show your receipts. We demand proof. You guys are able to dig all this crap up when you want to, but when you're writing a dang story, you can't. Why?
Well, they cite a few instances here, like the bathroom thing and a few other things. But
okay, what was the bathroom thing? See, I don't even know the context.
Okay, Mara, of course, has a long history of transphobia, from his constant cracks about Caitlyn Jenner's genitals to the time he gleefully mocked the transgender community alongside alt-right fraud Milo Yiannopoulos, describing the trans bathroom, describing the bathroom debate as weirdos peeing, and agreeing with Yiannopoulos when he said women and girls should be protected from having men who are confused about their sexual identities from their bathrooms.
Okay, so this is what I've said from the beginning of this debate. The thing I would say to transgender people is that it's not that I'm scared of somebody that believes that, or is a woman, born a man, is a woman, whatever. It's not that I'm scared of you. What I'm scared of is I worked with sex offenders for like 3 years. They will find any loophole, any way to take advantage of the system, and they will dress like a woman just to molest or rape a woman.
Oh, there's a million things, yeah.
But the thing too that you have to keep in mind is that it's not even enough to just be accepting of trans women who have actually transitioned to womanhood.
Right.
Who look and act and they have everything done so that you can't tell them from other women.
Right.
In that instance, no one knows, so no one cares, right? What they're trying to protect and what becomes the issue are those people who are still physically, phenotypically male, who consider themselves to be female.
Right.
And society rejecting that.
Right.
And not just that, but they're forcing us as straight guys to have to want to date them, which I think is ridiculous. I used to work in plenty of video stores. There's plenty of guys who love chicks with dicks. Trust me.
Those are just guys with tits. No, so real quick.
No, they're not.
I saw a study the other day. It said, and this is true, I'm not making this up, but it said 97% of straight men refuse to go down on a female penis. When I read that, I said, it looks like 3% of straight men do not know they're gay.
They're gay, yeah. What are you
There's
gonna
no
do?
other way to interpret that.
And that would be seen as transphobic.
Right.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, you're transphobic.
Because you won't go down on a female penis.
Like what Dave said, they have to change words to win arguments.
Yep.
And logic. You have to change basic logic, and that's what Jayne was talking about earlier. They're forcing in a 2 + 2 = 5 world on us now. We need to fight it all the time. Gender is a fact. I believe that. I do. And like, however you identify, awesome. That's so like, if whatever makes you happy, do you. But like, the world doesn't change for you. I've brought this up before. Sorry, but I don't ask everybody to close bars that I walk by because I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have to deal with it. Okay, so that's part of life. I tell my son, who's special needs, like, he's going to have to work harder, try harder to fit into this world. It's not going to bend to him, you know, and it's not fair, but that's the way. That's his life now, and he understands that. The worst way to go about like being accepted by a bigger group is making everyone recognize you as different. Like the more you separate yourself from everyone, you're like, no, you can't say that about my people because my people are this or that or this or that. Like, until you allow yourself to be actually accepted by the majority and be up for jokes that you would make about anybody else, you're always going to be seen as the other. You're doing the exact opposite of what your intention is. I think a lot of this is just used as an excuse for bad behavior too.
Yes, because failure builds character. If you always tell your kid you're the best, don't worry about it, you won. Once they get one thing of failure, they're gonna collapse.
Exactly.
Who was his name? Andrew. I forgot his last name. But basically, no. What he said was like, our who you are is forged through adversity, right? You could be who you were, like, without all of the good times, but not without the bad. To do away with the dragons is to do away with our heroes. You have to have the adversity to grow as a person and to be who you are.
I think the general idea is this: like, everybody wants to be accepted for who they are. In the end of the day, that's what it is all about. And most people don't have a problem with that. In the end, that's the case. But what they like to do is obfuscate the whole entire argument with, if you don't want to have sex with me, then you don't accept me. It's like, no, that's not the fucking case.
Right.
I'm accepting the fact that you can live the way you want to live, that you can have sex with another consenting adult, with whomever that may be, whatever their equipment is. And that's fine by me because it has nothing to do with me. Right. And that's the whole point. And that's why we both should learn to be able to just kind of be like, the whole, like, don't ask, don't tell. They turned that against everybody when it was like, no, there was a point to that. It's like, don't ask. I won't ask you who you want to fuck.
Right.
You don't have to tell me who you want to fuck. Right. At the end of the day, what we will find, though, is our common denominators. And that's where they're trying to separate us here.
Yes.
Is through the things we love in our common denominators. Because, as Gary knows, he had a comic book shop every day. People from different walks of life probably walked in there, but they all loved Spider-Man, or they all loved Batman or Superman, and they all congregated over that instead of argue. Well, I'm sure they had plenty of arguments over shit like Don't get me wrong, but that's what nerds do, right? I mean, it's just it wasn't this
superhero.
Yeah, it wasn't this idea of, oh, if you don't vote for this guy, then fuck you. You know, and that's the kind of attitude we're still getting from one side of the equation here.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. In times of trouble, societies come together.
Mother Mary comes.
I just said that. Nice.
Exactly.
Tribes go to war. What's happening
deep.
right now?
That was deep. It's true too. You are right. And don't forget, 10,000 years from now, when they dig up your bones, they're not going to look at which gender, 37 genders you were. They're going to see that you were a male or female.
Yeah,
that's science, bitches.
Yeah, your pelvis is one way or the other.
Right.
You're gonna be more worried about how you ate, how you lived, not who you fucked right away. I mean, eventually they'll get to that, but I just want to take a moment before we wrap up. I just want to say, Gary has been one of the guys that got me here where we're at right now. Because if it wasn't for him and guys like him, I wouldn't be doing this shit. Yeah. So I just want to thank him for that. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gary, not me.
Okay. Not you. Gary.
Welcome, Tom. But Tom, you've been around a long time too, man.
No, I know, but but you guys are the type of guys who help me find my voice, right? Nice. Like, because before this, I was afraid to speak out. I was afraid to see anything. I was just content being behind the scenes doing the video stuff. But you know, it took a lot for me to get out there and actually say my opinions on certain things beyond just movies and stuff. So, you know, it's because of guys like you and Jeremy and the rest of you who have, you know, gotten to this place where you guys have kind of stepped into the fire yourself. Because I mean, every day you flip on that camera, you know that there may be something you say that could get you shut down. I mean, look at what happened to Ords. Look at what happened to, you know, we just finally got back
Josiah.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I mean, it's a struggle every day, and I know, like, the same thing Andre and I deal with too. It's what can we get away with today? You know, it's like,
right.
That's kind of the feeling it feels like sometimes.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Because I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, we never know where the goalposts are going to be. So, and I have to thank Gary too. So, because again, there's a handful. I guess Gary technically would be my YouTube grandfather. Is that right? Is it like maybe?
I don't know how that goes.
I think he's everybody's YouTube grandfather.
Or dirty uncle.
How about he's the Godfather. How about that?
I would 100% like, and this is why I always get excited whenever we see guys like Jeff or like Gary come on, because for me personally, those guys are like Gary's like one of my Mount Rushmore of YouTubers that inspired me to actually start a channel, to actually go out and do it.
How does that?
I named my show, my main show, Machiny Live, is named after Gary's.
Oh, way to rip him off! I like that.
And I would just like to say,
you, Scott.
I love you, dude.
I would just like to say, Gary seems like a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Madge, you don't know anybody anyways. That's the beauty of you.
Here?
Because that's why. That's why I have him here.
I don't get to say my piece?
Yeah, whatever.
I said he seems like a cool guy.
Gary, after everyone threw roses at your feet, what would you like to say? It must be kind of awkward. Like there's a lot of people out there that picked up a microphone because people like you and Drunk 3PO, people said, do it. Let them hear your voice. It was you and Drunk that I heard both say that like within 2 days of each other. And I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do it myself. Yep. You know?
Exactly.
It must feel kind of awkward though, all these people saying that when you're just Gary.
Yeah. It does. I mean, I'm grateful, honestly, but I'm just an idiot. So, I mean, I got to keep that in mind, and I got to keep my head in check, or it would just badly for me, very, very badly.
I get that.
That's why I'm so important to have around.
Yeah, he really is.
Mrs. N takes care of a lot of that too. So anytime I start feeling full of myself, she brings me right back down to earth. It's all good.
That's why
they say behind every great man there's a great woman. So there you go.
Yeah, that's why my boss runs the world, Gary. So I feel you, man. You saw that. You saw that firsthand.
Or should I say walking beside, not behind? That doesn't sound right.
I remember I was okay, by the way, this very table that I have in I took this from Tesla. They gave me this. This is just a cheap work table. Right. My desk. I was at this table watching Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers on my phone, like under the desk a little bit while I was working on at Tesla, and he did a car video, and he's like, he talked about finding your voice and going out and do this, and I'm like, you know, and I had already been YouTubing at that time, but like the finding your voice thing,
yes,
like, sunk in, and then I heard it again of all movies. A Star Is Born with
wow,
Lady Gaga.
She inspires everybody.
Yeah, well, there's a whole scene where he's on the roof and he's like, you know, you're now a big rock star and everybody's going to want a piece of you and you're going to lose you. You can't lose you. You got to find your voice. And I listened to both of those things and just like stop giving I mean, I never gave a fuck anyway. So I'm like, I'm just not going to give a fuck. So I might lose some subscribers. And it was all over Doctor Who. I was like, I was hemming and hawing because I was pissed and I didn't say anything for the longest time. And I felt like I couldn't. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can say what the fuck I want.
Right.
I remember when you quit and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, the doctor's a dude. The doctor's a dude. And you can't say the doctor's a guy right now. And all of a sudden that makes you alt-right, Yahtzee, whatever. And it did, apparently. And that's all it took. You still, to some, you can't say that, even though it's completely failed. A lot of us were proven right after this. We knew this would happen.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, Gary, let me ask you real quick, because I remember the video where you said, like, I'm going all in on this. Like, when was that? How many subs did you have when you said, I'm just, you know what? We're doing what we have to do. You know, like, I'm going all in. It was low, wasn't it? Like, you weren't.
8,000.
Okay, because I think I found you around like 4,000 or 5,000, and I remember like it was not far after that, and I was like, "Holy shit, this dude's going for it." That was crazy to me. Like that was ballsy.
Gary's big night was the I know between Game of Thrones, and the
that's how I found him.
It was.
I've said my story before, and that I found Gary through comics division of Feisty Fangirl because that was part of the OG, like the original comic YouTubers like your boy Zach, Englentine, a lot of those guys, and I was following Gary. That's how I discovered Gary. I discovered Gary when I found out he was in San Francisco. I was like, oh my god, he's working the same place where I work at. I was like, I'll check it out. By the way, Gary, I still can't get over seeing you without your beard during like the older videos. Sometimes I pick the older videos and it's just like, oh my god, is that Gary?
I can't believe you still have that picture available.
You know, you can't hide from your past.
That's true.
Let it all hang out there.
Yes, sir. All right.
I found Gary on Sporking News podcast
tonight.
There you go.
That's nice. Yeah, I was this many days old when I knew Gary had a channel, right, Matt? Anyway, we got a couple of these. We got to round it out, and I don't want to keep Gary here forever as much as it's fun to praise him.
It's been a long
Mr. Tickle Trunk for a Canadian $5. Subscribe to all these people. I have. You should too. What did I say?
No, I just said I didn't mean to start some shit. I was just taking a minute.
You did. And there's another one in here. It's really important for me. Colt Casino for $5 says, congrats on 1,600.
Did you hit 1,600, Scotty?
Yes, I did.
Well, now you get to look forward to the Sunday morning blues where you're back down to 50.
Right now I'm at
tomorrow.
Now you get to...
Yeah. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you,
brother.
And
I should be much larger, but I'll take it. Thank you.
A big shout out for the man that that paid for half of the show tonight, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for a Canadian $5 once again. It was fun tonight. I don't know what changed with your podcast. Whatever you did different tonight, keep it up.
Thanks, man. I mean, it is Gary.
He says, grats and happy diaper shop.
You know what? I got to be honest, though. Somebody messaged me after Comics Divisions the other night with Quarter Black, and they were like, I don't know what you did, but you just let go. Like you just did it. And it was awesome. So thank you to everybody. I don't care. And I like to have fun. You could joke about anything but my kids, you know, like let's have a good time. Let's talk about the shit that pisses us off. Talk about the things we love. Like I talk about Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, but A Song of Ice and Fire. Cause I love it, you know?
Yep. I hate what happened to it, dude.
I know.
And I wanted to finish. I do. But I can't waste time on it anymore.
You're going to do House of the Dragon, though? You're going to do reviews?
Of course.
All right. We'll have to get together for that.
If I did. Yeah, we will. We will.
Okay.
I'm doing a trailer reaction. Well, kind of. So.
I'd like
What
to.
are we doing?
I like to get. Shut up. You're not involved.
We.
I like
Can I
to
mute him?
do some like after show stuff with you. That would be freaking fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be weekly. I heard it's going to be weekly, so that's good. There just has been so few shows that are weekly.
Right.
Now. It sucks. Or I still do it, by the way. They just stopped putting out shows weekly that I watch. But
when are they going to learn?
Is coming back and Doctor Who at the same time.
Content. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you to everybody. We're going to end it one more time with this super blubber puss for $5. The first sign of mental illness is to actually believe that you can make a difference. Hey, you can believe what you want to believe, my friend. I believe what I want to believe, but I will take that $5 and I thank you for that.
Clinically, I don't think that's correct.
No, I think it might be wrong, but I don't know because I am not a doctor. So
I'm a doctor adjacent.
Once again, we're going to start with you, Mad. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, hey, it's me, Mad the Magnificent. Sorry, I changed that. From Mad Barber Entertainment. You
All
can
right,
find me
thank
on
you,
my...
Jayne Theory. All right.
Just got my name out there.
Oh my God, you can find me on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture content. You can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne. And Makini Draws.
First thing I want to say, guys, thank you. We are at 708 subscribers, so you guys are incredible. Thank you. As such, I got to share this because I don't think everybody's seen this, but it's one of my favorite clips. All right, so here you go. My apologies.
Nope, I'm not doing a gaming one, dude.
No, it's not a gaming one. It's not a gaming one. It's a Ryan Kindle one.
Because if it's Kindle,
it's not music. It's not music.
The last two you've done, I've gotten demonetized. So
to be the one who pioneered it, which makes y'all look ignorant. It looks ignorant.
Yeah, that looks dope, though.
Well, I mean, I've been distracted by that ever since he fucking turned it.
Just look at it, man.
Look at that, man. That is his
That
first
was dope.
freaking Batman. It's freaking amazing.
Show him a little bit more. There you go.
I'm gonna come. I'm
gonna come. Do not come, Ryan.
That's disturbing. That's disturbing.
That's a good Batman, though. That's what makes
Stop it. So laugh that gets you.
Hey, it reached the stove.
Thank you, Makini. Thank you.
Wow.
Anyway,
Epic.
I want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are incredible. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'll do it tomorrow or I'll try to do it tomorrow. If not, they'll be safe for next Sunday. But I'm going to do a 700 celebration stream.
Nice.
I will be giving away some stuff.
Nice.
And this is one thing I might be giving away because I happen to have an extra print of it.
Ooh.
Flying around.
What is that? I mean, if you have to search.
Yeah, they got a little extra. So, I got this. I made 2 prints. One I gave to my dad for his birthday, so he absolutely loves it. And
That's
this
awesome.
one, I have an extra one, so I'll give that one away. I'll frame it, sign it as well. Stay tuned for the 700 stream. I'm probably gonna do another drawing as well and do that as a giveaway as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much. We're
awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you, buddy.
1K before Christmas. That's how it's gonna go.
We're gonna help push you.
Yeah, man. If we get 100 people every Saturday night, which we should now because you guys liked it, we'll get you there.
Plus we have some eye candy,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's Tom from Midnight's Edge.
Oh God!
All right,
look at the kitty.
I got a photo bomber here.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitch at Culture Casino. You can find me on Twitter at Culture Casino. You can find me on YouTube at Culture Casino. You can find me at Facebook at Culture Casino. You can find me at Instagram at Culture Casino. And you can find me at OnlyFans at Culture Casino.
I love them.
What about you?
Thank you,
Pornhub.
And here's the YouPorn guide himself.
No, let me just say that you can check out Tom on one of the 2050 Midnight's Edge channels that are out there now. He does a great job. I love that I am privileged enough to get to hang out with him multiple times a week, and I can't believe that where I am, and it's because of the people that I have met along the way and the people that inspired me. And from time to time, I get to hang out with them, and I'm very, very grateful.
You give a guy a hand job one time, and they just love you forever.
Viva Las Vegas!
And that's it. I don't want to promote anything other than the people that were on this stream.
Thanks, buddy.
You're not subscribed to these human beings. I don't know why not. They're great. So thank you very much, Scott. You did a great job.
Thanks, buddy. And Gary, last but not least.
Oh, hi.
Tell them how much you love me.
If you're a fan of the Sporking News podcast, you might like my channel, Nerdrotic. But please subscribe to Nerdrotic. I also have 2 other channels, Nerdrotic Live and Nerdrotic Daily. And you might like some of my content. Now, I don't make as much as Scott, but I think it's a little better.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Quality,
good luck,
not quantity.
Good luck, kid.
But I'm not on any of it. How could it be better?
By the way, Scott, I just wanted to point out that I really like Culture Casino's shirt.
I have one. I just didn't want to be that guy.
I am.
I've been trying to find mine for a while.
Quarter Black wears his Nerdrotic shirt on every FNT stream, so there is nothing wrong.
Have to do that.
And I like my green on yellow. You went black on yellow. I don't know why, but I do have a cool shirt from an awesome YouTuber.
You got like light blue and black, and well, I guess it kind of matches Ryan's colors.
Yeah, well, I got that right there, and then mine. So
it's like old Denver Broncos colors.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I just did.
That happened. Well, that happened. I left Mads out. That happened, everybody.
You know what the funny thing is, Gary?
We're killing it. We're killing it. We're done. We've held Gary too long.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do amazing things.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Thank you for getting me to 1,600. I'm sorry that you had to deal with us, but hey, thanks for coming over here and subbing me. Maybe you'll give us a chance next week and actually show up, you son of a guns. But this goes out to my members. You guys literally every week, week in, week out, you guys support this channel. You watch the show. Thank you very much. That's how you build, your base. So I thank you guys. Here's our new ending. Okay, so new ending here, people, done by this guy over here.
Did Jayne get to say her thing? Or?
Yeah, she did. She did. I would never do that to Jayne.
It was like an hour ago, though, because
That's probably why I forgot. I got short-term memory.
Subscribe to Jayne Theory.
That's it.
Nice pumpkin hat on.
Way to end it.
I know.
Subscribe to Jayne. Adios, everybody.
Totes adorbs.
Look at that.
Where am I?
Well, yeah, is his name still bent? Or is
my name's not even there.
Scott has a little dick.
Very, very. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
I think you have me